Ladies and gentlemen, professional wrestling returns to Union, South Carolina on Saturday, March the 26th at the Union County Recreation Department as Pro Wrestling Union presents the Wrestling Classic. See some of the greatest professional wrestling action that you have known from Pro Wrestling Union. You'll see some of the best superstars in the independent scene, such as The Anomaly, Antonio Morgan, The Outlaw, Randy Wayne, Black Cat Dion Johnson, the Tag Team Champions, the Heat Seekers, the Carolinas Champion, the Great Dane of the Game, Bebop, and also don't forget the main event as NWA Superstar Colby Corino challenges Chase Emery, the All-American Blue Chipper, for the Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight title. All of this and more on March the 26th, Union, South Carolina at the Union County Recreation Department, the Wrestling Classic.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. It is time again for the Wrestling Wire. Now, as if the world has not been crazy enough, there's even more on top of it when it comes to professional wrestling. We've got Cesaro walking away. They couldn't come to a new terms on deal, and now you add him into the fix. You got Cody Rhodes still up in the air. Nobody knows what's going on. A lot of people speculating on different things, especially with Cody's shit still on AEWshop.com. Personally, he created the company with Khan's money. I don't know which way it's going to go, but if you got merch, look at Vince. He was still selling Punk shit for like 8-9 months to a year later. If it's your product, it's your product in the end, in my book. I don't know, but it's time. We're going to go ahead and get this show rolling. Welcome to the show, our guest, the G himself, Derek Vanford. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, Ron? Thanks for having me. The Saint.
That's right, brother. That's right, man. I'm doing pretty good, dude. It's been a hell of a weekend. Had a whole bunch going on, but I'm looking forward to next weekend at the Welford Pavilion.
Oh, yeah. You better, because Luka Daniels is going to learn a little lesson that night.
Oh, is he?
He is. He's actually the first challenger for the Pro Wrestling Union heavyweight title against Chase Emery. He's the first challenger that Chase Emery's had for that belt, and he won't be the last.
Oh, here we go. Already got hella confidence in your man there.
No doubt about it. He wouldn't be with me. I wouldn't have scouted him. I wouldn't have picked him. I wouldn't help him. I wouldn't manage him. I wouldn't be taking care of his career if he wasn't the best. Amateur champion.
That's right. He was
Pro champion.
He was an amateur wrestling champion too. A lot of people don't realize that transition does work quite well. Look at Kurt Angle. Look at Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin.
Right. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for a lot, and it's sure working for Chase Emery. I can tell you that. He's an all-American blue chipper.
Let's see. You got Dolph Ziggler, Gable Stevenson, that kid Harlan. I can't remember what his real name is, but they call him Harlan over there on NXT. There's a lot of them that got that background. Hell, Bobby Lashley had it too.
Yeah, when you know how to control the man and take him down, you know how to do it.
Man. So I got to bring up something to you though. We were at Chase was at HWA in North Carolina a couple weeks ago, and I don't think he picked up on what was going on. But every time he got near one corner of the ring, Michael King and Brino Royce kept standing up. Like they just kept standing up and just waving. They were just trying to make sure that the attention was there. Because
what did they want him to know?
They apparently Brino wants a piece of that boy's ass, man. That's the only thing I know.
Well, be careful what he wishes for. I got respect for those guys and stuff like that. Michael King's a very professional, respectful young man, and there's a lot he could learn, a lot I could teach him, and he's very respectful toward me, and that's well and good. But be careful what you wish for, because you might get that ass handed to you.
Man, look, who's the other one of the other big names that was there was Derek Driver, another indie guy who's done pretty well for himself, honestly. Man,
Yeah,
he got.
I've worked with Derek a good bit.
I think I've seen him or met him before, but I can't quite recall. You know me, I can't remember shit. But
he's been around a long time. A long time. He
yeah.
used to team. He used to team with Stephen Walters, who is now Cash Wheeler, along a lot.
Oh shit! There we go.
Yeah, they were a good tag team for a long time around the Carolinas.
Now he got thrown out the ring in the bunkhouse battle royal thing, and he landed right there at our feet. They took business cards and started dropping business cards on him.
That's one way to go about it, I guess.
I mean,
I don't know how interested I would be in looking for management if I just got thrown out of a battle royal. But hey,
I don't know if it was management he was trying to seek or if he was trying to embarrass his ass to try to goad him into a match. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, I'd love to know how that plays out.
You and me both, because I can tell you one thing: he got pissed about it. Whether Derek did, I seen. Trust me,
Derek's a tough dude.
He is. I was sitting right beside Reno and Mr. King, and we were over there with Scott Larson to the other side of us, and it's like when Derek got up, you could tell he was pissed. And it wasn't mad that he got eliminated. It was pissed at agitation. And I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, here I did. I just busted my ass and got thrown on the floor, and these clowns are throwing things at me. I get it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, tell me about this from what happened last night in North Carolina.
Last night in North Carolina, I went to Uprise Pro Wrestling with Chase Emery, and they had a battle bowl. So they had they pick names at random, and whoever they pick, that's your partner, right? You know, nobody knew who their partner was going to be, who they were going to be wrestling, anything like that. And so turns out I'm managing Chase Emery. His partner is Luca Daniels that night. I know both of those guys have been on your show, and you're familiar with them. Well, so I manage both of them, and we go out, you know, looking great, you know, feeling great, showing people up. This little kid got beat up so bad it wasn't funny, you know. But during this time, for some reason, these rednecks that were there in attendance were getting angry. For some reason, all we were doing is what we do. But they were getting angry at us. I don't know why. They should have sat there with their mouths closed and watched this phenomenal wrestling that they were seeing of two legitimate stars, two of the only legitimate stars there, and they should have realized the privilege they had of seeing this for that low ticket price and shut up and sat there and clapped when the match is over. But for some reason, they're getting angry. They don't like this. They say I did this. They say he did that, whatever. These old ladies started throwing things at us. They were yelling. They were using foul language. I haven't heard talk like that since breakfast. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I mean, I got things thrown at me. I think somebody threw their dentures at me. I think somebody threw a baby at me. I don't know. I was just ducking and dodging, trying to get out of there. But that's true. That happened.
Now, well, you know, some of the shows we work down here are Christian, and you get thrown out the door for that mess. So It seems like when you cross into North Carolina, all bets are off. Yeah.
Oh, they cuss up there, buddy. They were this lady was every bit of 87, and this one lady, and I don't even know some of the words she was saying to me.
Jesus Christ. Oh, let's see here. Derek Driver has not forgotten being dropped by the G for losing the Trans-South Wrestling Championship. That came from Mr. Cole Maccabee.
Well, yeah, you know, look, I told you he's a tough guy. He's a great wrestler and stuff like that, but you have to listen. You have to pay attention, and you have to go by there's a game plan involved. And he, one way or another, he didn't hold on to that title, and that's not what I'm about. I'm about having the title. And if we're not on the way to it, or if we're not holding on to it, then, maybe we need to move in a different direction. Maybe I need to move in a different direction. Maybe I need to find myself a blue chipper, which I did.
Yes, you did. Man, look, I've talked to the guy. I've met the guy. I've introduced the guy, announced him into the ring. I've interviewed the kid. He's a jam-up guy. I got nothing but respect for him. Hell, I got nothing but respect for you because not a lot of people get it, especially when it comes up to, indie wrestling and professional wrestling in general. A lot of people who sit in the stands don't understand the difference between sitting in the stand or being at or behind the curtain. But
right,
it's a good old boy network. There's a bit of fun and hazing, couple ribs and shit in the back. But for the most part, everybody I've dealt with has always been extremely cool and professional. So it's always been, kind of one of the great things, especially dealing with you, Bill Hazelwood, Cole, Buck, Jimmy, all of them. I mean, everybody I've dealt with so far has been right on the money. We got some more comments.
That's quite a lineup. That's quite a lineup you just named. But yeah, go ahead.
You got. Hey, look, man. You know me. I play the hits. You ain't gonna go. You're not gonna want to go see Metallica without hearing Enter Sandman. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But
and you're not going to want to go to wrestling in the Carolinas without seeing Chase Emery.
I'm not going to say it's not a show without Chase, but I am going to say when Chase is on the card, you're getting your money's worth. That's what I'm going to say.
That's exactly right.
That's what I will
say. That's exactly right, and I help make sure of it. I help make sure of that. Sometimes his only fault at some places when you see him without me is he's too nice. He's too understanding. He's maybe a little too humble, a little too respectful. But when you see him with me, I bring something out of him to where that confidence maybe shines through a little more. How about that? We'll say that.
And you got no argument here. I've seen it myself. We're not going to go into great details or personal information in this shit, but I saw him one time without you, and I was sure to tell him, be sure to send my best to you. And I think I even reached out to you as well. But he went up against Black Cat, Dion Johnson, that night. And I can't
without me there?
Yeah. And I don't remember
when
if he won or lost. His pro wrestling, October? It had to be October.
I managed him once at his pro wrestling against Black Cat. That might have been a rematch you saw, but I managed him against Black Cat one night there.
I think it was a rematch because I don't remember. Trust me when I know where you are. I know what you look like. I've seen you.
You hit a sore spot because that Black Cat Dion Johnson has been getting under my skin and on my nerves, on my last nerve for years. I met him when I was 12 years old, and I'm 40.
To add to the comments here, we got Casey Leanne saying next Saturday will be epic in Welford when Luka Daniels and Chase Emery go 1-on-1. Yes, Casey Leanne, it's going to be epic. And hey, look, this is the match I asked for before it was ever announced. So I'm cool. I'm happy. You know this. Casey Leanne also chimed in to say, we hardcore here in North Carolina. Look, Casey, you're a nice person, so I'm going to leave my joke out of this because my old joke for people that used to say they were hardcore, I used to always say porno doesn't count. But you're a cool person. That was my go-to for people. Man, I've been using that line for 20 years because you get all these people in school and people trying to act stupid in the streets. Act hardcore, porn don't count, bitch. Back up. I couldn't stand fake ass people. I never could.
Boom. Boom. You said it.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Bill Hazelwood says she hurt Derek's little virgin ears.
She did. She did. I told you. I hadn't heard talk like that since breakfast. I wasn't ready for it.
And KC just says, wow, with stars popping out her eyes. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Wipe those stars out of your eyes, honey. Luka Daniels next Saturday or this Saturday. Yep. It's going to be epic. He's going to get that ass whooped in an epic fashion.
Man, I think he's going from working that match to freaking Georgia to being a ladder match or some shit, isn't it?
He thinks. Who's going to drive him there?
Not me, because I'm going to Columbia.
Who's going to take off that ice pack for him? Who's going to hold that heating pad on him?
Damn.
Yeah, going to Southern Fried. Yeah, we'll see.
Michael King said, hardcore is great when you can't wrestle. Hey, this may be accurate, Mr. King, but when it comes to KC Leanne, that's not the case because this woman can work. I promise you that. I've read enough of the write-ups.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not challenging KC anytime soon, but yeah, I'm just saying.
I remember because when I first met her, she sent me some information kind of like you did. But so you legitimately sent me your wrestling resume. And right. I have read this thing 3 different times. And I'm going to tell y'all what. Most people live a life of 35, 40 years, don't have a resume that long in careers, period. Whereas you look at his resume just in wrestling. That's not including what he's done outside of professional wrestling. His resume rivals mine, and I've been traveling states for nearly 20 years running wire. Nope, I don't have the GB. Now,
it wasn't easy. What's Cole McAfee say?
Cole McAfee said, "Not always true. Ever heard of Terry Funk?" Of course, we've heard of Terry Funk.
Terry Funk also beat Jack Briscoe for the world heavyweight title, so that wasn't hardcore wrestling. You know, Terry Funk could do it all. Terry Funk's the GOAT, the all-time GOAT in my book.
Terry Funk is up there in the top, easily top 10 of all time for me as well. Terry, Dory, senior and junior for that matter, both of them could work.
Terry's a good friend of mine, and I wish him well. He's a good friend of my dad's. They talk pretty regularly, and he's doing well, and I've gotten more advice, as much advice from that man as anybody in the world. And Terry Funk's the GOAT. Terry Funk.
I got you. Michael King throwing a name in the hat for it. He said, "I got Luka." Michael King is predicting Luka Daniels to take the strap off your boy Chase Emery.
Well, that goes to show you about inexperience. Like I said, Michael King's a good kid. He doesn't know any better. You know, he's a sweet baby-faced little kid, I guess. But, you know, he's going to learn. He's going to learn.
Man, I'll put you, I guess. I don't know Perry James. I've never met the man. Only thing I know of Perry James is what I've seen on video. Is he?
Perry James is a friend of mine.
Okay. There are 3 managers that I pay attention to in this area. 1, Perry James. I see his videos. 2 is you. And 3 is Michael King. Those are the only 3 I pay attention to. Okay. And if anybody else is a manager out there in the South, I don't know you because you don't get around as much as these 3.
Well, it comes with, the thing is, I mean, you can't help when you were born. You can't help when you started. And I'll be honest with you, you know, yeah, I live a great lifestyle, but I mean, as far as wrestling goes, I mean, yeah, I've slept in parking lots many, many times. I mean, I've done whatever I had to do, you know what I mean? To get in the door here, to get in the door there. I had the privilege of working for some of the best promotions on the independents. The late Burt Prentice that passed away last year, was a great advisor. He was a great manager in his day. Queen Christopher Love, look that up in your history books. He managed Tully Blanchard, Leilani Kai, Judy Martin, some of the greats and stuff like that. He helped me out a whole lot. And he had some of the best talent around, such as Dusty Rhodes, who I also worked for, also molded me, shaped me. You have to listen to this advice that people give you and take it to heart and do what it is they say. They're not just talking to hear themselves talk, like I think a lot of young guys might think. They see some of the older fellas come in the locker room and give some advice, and they think, well, that doesn't apply to me. It certainly does. It certainly does. And, people didn't get to where they are for no reason. And when you sit back and wonder, well, how is this guy doing this? He's no better than me. I should be doing this or whatever. We've all thought that at one time or another. Well, there is a reason. Maybe you need to study a little further, a little more in depth, and you'll understand.
Right. And now I've got no problem admitting fault. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And when I mess up, I mess up. It's indie wrestling. This ain't, I'm not getting a check from Vince. I'm not getting a check from Tony.
Right.
It is what it is. This is right. A growth and fun. This is a hobby for me more than anything. This is a hobby.
And those guys that are getting a check from those guys that you mentioned. Okay. You see them on TV. You're like, well, how in the world are they doing that? How can they do that? They're doing something right. Hey, you might not agree with what it is on TV, but there's something somewhere behind the scenes that they're doing right. There's a reason they're getting a check.
Oh, I got no problem believing that. Look at guys like Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens as a wrestler. I think he's one of the better ones on the television screen today.
Kevin Owens is a smart dude.
He's very intelligent if you listen to him speak. I agree. He can work. He can promo.
Yes.
I have no problem seeing him as a producer. The guy's there. He's there.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at all the people that have walked away or have left in the last year, somebody posted a picture earlier. I'll have to send you this picture because I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know who half of these damn people are. And it's just the WWE releases since 21, since the beginning of 21 to now. I'm like, I don't know who half of these people are, number one. And the half that I did know, only some of them were worth a shit. Not everybody who's on TV deserves to be there. Haven't y'all seen the Kardashians? Not everybody needs to be on TV and make money.
The people who are staying there are talented, whether you see it or not. I'll tell you who's very smart and very talented on screen and off. R-Truth. Look at him. How long has he been there?
That man is 50 freaking years old.
And never changed. Looks exactly the same.
Yes, he does. He still looks like K-Quick from back in the day.
Yeah, I saw him 3 or 4 weeks ago in Charlotte at a non-wrestling related thing I went to for a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, and he looks phenomenal right now.
Right. We're gonna add some comments in here. Michael King said, absolutely, but that's one of the peanuts in the hardcore turd. He's talking about Terry Funk. Yeah, he's one of the better parts of what used to be hardcore wrestling. I'll go with that. And then
there are several guys that know what they're doing. Just like for example, the late New Jack. Okay, everybody doesn't like everything that he did. I might not like everything that he did, but I like a lot of things that he did. And he would tell you, do you think I don't know how to do hip tosses and drop downs and do these spots? You think Ricky Morton didn't teach me all of these things? Of course I do. But, guess what made him money, So
exactly. Being out there and doing wild shit.
Right.
KC Leanne said, oh, yes, it does apply. She's right. She's talking about how the differences in opinion and the differences on work apply to getting people utilized in other areas.
Right.
Like
That's
we were talking
true.
about. Michael King said,
That's
just because you don't like a person's performance or style doesn't mean they aren't talented. Oh, that's very true. Wrestling is like, to me, the modern day variety show. There's something for everybody. If vanilla's not your flavor, there's chocolate, there's strawberry, there's Rocky Road and pistachio, all that shit. Some of it's coffee flavored because it's high energy. I mean, it's everywhere. Wrestling is
as somebody who has promoted for years at a time, I'll say this: everything that I put out there wasn't necessarily my cup of tea, but I knew that it was for a lot of paying customers,
Right.
And that's the name of the game. That's what we're doing. It's
a business. It ain't UNICEF.
Right.
I'm looking here at your resume. I've got your resume pulled up. 1992. You're a ring attendant in this area.
12 years old. 11 and 12 years old. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing TNA written on this thing. You've been been a writer.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like I say, it's just staying in there and taking opportunities when you get them. I mean, it's not like I was, especially during some of those times you're looking at. It's not like I was 1,000 times better than anybody else around, but I did recognize opportunities and I took them. I listened to people. When I was at TNA, I listened to Scott Armstrong, listened to Jeff Jarrett. I listened to Bill Behrens. I listened to Burt Prentice. I listened to who was there. And yeah, I got to do a couple of TNA shows, nothing big. It was the free show that they had that came on, but I learned a lot. I was around a lot of good people, a lot of good talent, and all of that, if you're a sponge at all times, all of that helps you along the way, the good and the bad. You see good and bad, but it helps you.
Well, it's like I've said before, I just kind of normally hang back and listen to everybody else talk other than me asking you for your information for the ring. I try to stay out of most shit. Now, if I see somebody who's wanting to work on something or, if I see something in my head for somebody, I'll be like, hey, man, what do you think about that? I'll throw it out there just privately, see what they think. And if they like it, they roll with it. If they don't, what's the harm in saying, hey, what do you think of this?
Of course. There is. Yeah. People in wrestling are creative people. What we're doing is a creative thing. It's physical, it's violent, hurts, but it's art as well, you know? So yeah, you express yourself. That's what you're supposed to do. Right.
Man, so I know y'all been on the road a lot lately. Y'all been working a hell of a lot of shows. It seems like shows are finally starting to pick up again. And I know March is busy as hell for a lot of us. What do y'all got coming down the pipeline?
Well, we've already talked about this Saturday in Welford. It's going to be, and I noticed at the beginning of the show here, the Pro Wrestling Union commercial. Well, on the 26th, Chase is going to be defending that title after he beats Luca. He's going to be defending that title against Colby Carino in Union, South Carolina.
From the NWA, currently in there. I believe he's still in it. Their junior heavyweight tournament.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he was there last night in Flat Rock. And don't think I didn't scout out his weaknesses. Don't think I wasn't looking for things to tell Chase about when I watched Colby Carino in there wrestling, because I did. And we've been watching tape of Colby Carino. Colby, he may not be that well acquainted with Chase. I don't know. I don't know what he knows and what he doesn't, but I know this. I know he's in for a hell of a night, March 26th in Union, South Carolina. I know that.
I already put in my vacation for that day. I've already signed off on that. I've had to take Go ahead.
Just for trivia, the last time a Carino wrestled in Union, South Carolina, was for Trans-South Wrestling. And that Carino was Steve, and he tapped out. So you tell me, Cauliflower Chase Brown, another man named Chase.
No shit. Chase Brown and Steve. I bet you that was a banger.
Yeah, it was. And Carino tap.
I saw Chase versus Randy Wayne. That was a good match.
That goes to show you the mojo, if you will, surrounding the Carino family in Union, South Carolina. It's going to be the same thing on the 26th. Colby may tap out just like his daddy did.
So Colby's going to tap just like Steve did. Okay, I want to see that because I haven't seen Chase. I haven't seen Chase sub anybody yet. I haven't seen him submit anyone.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Right. That's what's up. I look forward to seeing that. Now, so yeah, we've got the 26th for Pro Wrestling Union. I think I got the 18th. Hell, I can't keep track of it all. I'm glad this phone tells me when everything has to happen because I damn sure wouldn't remember.
There's a lot going on, and I apologize for not having my calendar with me. As you can see, no secret, I'm in my car. I couldn't be at home. I've been out doing business all day today, and I stopped at 4 p.m. for the Wrestling Wire, my favorite wrestling show to watch.
Well, I appreciate that. So I know you've been working with Chase. I've also seen you with Antonio Morgan, the anomaly.
Antonio Morgan. Now he is an anomaly.
That man is a freak.
That man hits. The impact from a hit from that man. What I believe when the last time I saw him spear somebody, I felt the building shake. I felt the rafters move. Do you know that Deion Johnson, the black cat that we talked about earlier, do you know that he lost a tooth from a shoulder tackle from Deion Johnson? That's a shoot.
Oh, shit. Now, I think the first time I saw Antonio Morgan, I think it was him, Squeaks the Clown, and somebody else who was a rather large individual. No, it wasn't I think it was Jay Stunna. I think it was them three. I saw them three work a match together, and I watched because I wanted to know what everybody brought to the table because you got three very different individuals when you're talking about them three men. So you're like, man, this got to be a weird match.
Yeah, it sounds like it would have been. See, Antonio's like Chase. He's young in his career. He's older than Chase, but he's young in his career.
Yeah.
And Chase is young in his career. And they need a coach. They need a manager, just like anyone would. But both of them are phenomenal athletes. And both of them have all the potential in the world. And I'm going to be working with Antonio a lot more in the future. And even just last night, I was talking with some talent who I won't say right now, but I'm going to be working with some more people in the future. We're building this thing, and I'm very selective. I'm handpicking these guys. And if you want to take things over, you have to be very selective. You have to know your crew. And you're about to see something very special. 2022 and on, the G's taking care of business. I promise.
Okay. Well, I can already
remember I said that. Remember I told you that.
Okay. Hey, look, I try to remember a lot of things. I don't remember everything, but I will do my best to keep that in mind. Now,
I remember everything. My memory is impeccable.
Yeah. And mine's concussed, so I don't even bother trying. But
yeah, that may have been a little facetious on my part. But anyway, go ahead.
So you're good. You're good. When you're dealing with Antonio Morgan, now you've done pissed off Randy Wayne, the outlaw. And
Okay.
that's one person I really don't think I would want mad. So you're talking about a fucking Marine. You're not talking about just you're talking about a Marine. There's a whole nother line when we change from a standard human being to a soldier one. Then when you say a Marine, you have just changed the classification again. So
Randy Wayne is bad. Randy Wayne is bad, no doubt about it. But here's the thing. I don't know if we won't go into it. I don't know if it's PTSD. I don't know what, but Randy Wayne's head is not. See, I used to respect Randy Wayne. We kind of thought alike, especially in terms of Pro Wrestling Union. And then all of a sudden, after his matches with Landon Hale, oh, well, now he likes Landon Hale. Now Landon Hale's cool, and we're going to hug and high five and all this kind of stuff. And now I'm coming out a different door and all these things. Now I'm a different guy. He's wishy-washy. And so, and yes, he's bad, and that won't stop. He's a bad dude. I mean, yeah, no doubt about it. He's tough as shoe leather, but he's not Antonio Morgan. Antonio Morgan is still young. Antonio Morgan's hungry. Antonio Morgan is big. Antonio Morgan is strong. Antonio Morgan will knock you out of your boots. See?
I have stood next to Antonio Morgan. I am well aware of the mass of that individual. Now, either way you look at it, we were talking about Randy Wayne, and you happened to mention, the high five or the hugging or whatever with Landon Hale. So we spoke earlier about respect. So now is Randy Wayne showing respect? Randy Wayne showing weakness? Is that what that is?
Well, there's one thing to get back to. Look, they fought have you ever fought somebody? Have you ever fought somebody and then after it was over, you hugged and kissed on them and said, "Oh, that was such a fun fight to have"? See, I haven't either. So I don't really understand that. If I just give me a little bit time to cool down and I can say, yeah, he gave me a hell of a fight. Yeah, he's worthy opponent. But there's a thin line. There's a thin line. And Landon Hale's great. He's another great one. But I don't like his attitude. He worries too much about pleasing everybody, and he loves the little babies and the old ladies and all this crap. That's not what it's about. We're here to make money. So that's the way that's my opinion, Ron. That's how I feel about it.
Oh, I get it. I mean, there's a difference between showing respect and I guess taking it a little too far in your eyes. I understand that. That makes sense. Now,
maybe he had some ulterior motive why he wanted to suck up, but I looked at it as sucking up. I looked at it as, oh, this kid's good, and I'm gonna suck up to him. And now all of a sudden, I'm where at one time Randy Wayne stood up to Cole McAbee, the promoter. And now, they're best buddies. That's Cole's favorite cowboy and this and that. Oh, I love cowboys. Well, it just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know.
Hey, I get it, man. Casey Leanne threw a comment out there. She said, I've known Randy Wayne a long time. Nope. Don't piss him off. KC, I'll tell you the truth about Randy Wayne from my experience. 2 different occasions. One, he asked me if he could pick me up for some reason because he wanted to show somebody a move. I looked at him and I said, with all due respect, sir, no thank you. And I walked away. That was one.
See, the old Randy Wayne, the real Randy Wayne that KC's talking about, wouldn't have asked you. He would have just picked you up. He wouldn't have asked you anything. You see what I'm saying? He's changed. He's different. He's mellowed out. He's gotten a little, I don't want to say the word, but I'm just saying he's a little older. He's a little more mellow now, I think. And he's asking permission for things and things like that. That's what I think Randy Wayne That's the difference between the old, real Randy Wayne and this Randy Wayne.
Well, the other side of Randy Wayne that I have seen was absolute pissed off when he wrote out a story about, a referee getting worked over by a steel spike and some kid doing a table spot off of high fall or some mess at an indie show where the kid probably got paid $10 to fall that great distance.
Oh, well, I agree with them. People do stupid things. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, I agree with that.
I do too. There's
people do stupid things.
Indie wrestling itself, there's a lot of that. Now, some guys will go out there and they'll say, well, as far as it goes, I made sure the fans got their money. No, you didn't. The fans got their money off of everything that was occurring anyway.
Right.
They got their money's worth over the overall show. A table spot, to some young kid from way higher than it should have been is just, I don't see the point in a lot of dumb shit in wrestling. The gymnastics
you should have gone up there to start with.
Right.
If the kid went up that high, he knew he had a chance of falling down. You don't let it get that far. You think Chase Emery would let somebody carry him up that high? No. Especially not if I'm there. No, he wouldn't. He'd shut them down before they got up there. That's what you do. If you don't have sense enough to shut somebody down before they take you up a ladder, then you're stupid.
This is yet again true. And it's not even veterans taking liberties in this case. I'm sure there is some of that occurs, but when you're dealing, especially in the level at which that we see a lot of it, thankfully, we don't have a lot of that shit to deal with here in South Carolina. In the upstate, we don't have a lot of that to go on with. Now, outside of here, they deal with it.
150-pound boy wants to tell a pro wrestler he's going to take him up a ladder. He bends him in half, shows him his own butthole, and taps him out. That's what happens when you're in there with a real wrestler.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now,
right?
You got no argument from me. Now, and Casey chimed in.
No trampolines here. You know what I mean? This is real.
There ain't no springs in that ring. Casey chimed in. She said, that's very stupid. Casey, if you haven't read that article, I'll be sure to find it, send it to you. Because when Randy wrote it, I was appalled when I read it. Now, Cole Maccabee has decided to grace us with another long comment.
Oh, well, hallelujah.
There's no friendship between myself and Randy Wayne. It's called respect, just like Dion. Respect. Hell, even guys like Chris Vallow may not like him all the time, but there is respect. Something you forget to a lot of guys in the locker room.
I'm not there for a lot of guys in the locker room. I'm there for Chase Emery. I'm there for Antonio Morgan, and I'm not worried about a lot of guys in the locker room. Yeah, I got respect for a couple of those people you said. I like Chris Vallow too, but what's my job? I'm there to do my job. I'm not worried about making friends and shaking hands and loving everybody and eating sub sandwiches and putting up the ring and patting babies on the head. That's not what I do. That's not what I do. That's not what we do. That's what I'm there to let Chase Emery understand. Because if he's on some shows without me, then he may forget that. He's still young in his career, like I said. So a lot of times you may see him without me, and he's, maybe he says, what the hell, and he, signs an autograph or something. That's not important. That's not important, and that's not what we're there to do. We're there to be focused. We're there to have that championship and keep that championship.
Now, when he went to AEW, what was that like for you?
It was great. That was great because I'll tell you this. I've managed Chase Emery a little over a year, okay? When I first recruited him, he was sort of in a class of people who all came from this one school, Lodi School, great school. But he was not the one people were talking about. They were talking about this guy and that guy. Oh, and Chase Emery's good too. But when I watched him wrestle, I saw something in him, and I can't describe it to you. It's just, you have to know what's up. And I said, this is the guy. I'm going to recruit this guy. This is the guy. This is the next champion. And I told people that for 6, 8 months. And guess what? I was right.
Now, I'll give you that because a lot of people can't see it. When you're dealing with people who watched it forever, some of them are more apt to seeing it. But when you can see technical prowess and the ability to physically manipulate somebody else, that's a difference between a Chase Emery and Joe Blow walking down the street, or Joe Blow walking through the curtain, climbing in the ring.
Exactly.
You know, it's sports entertainment. It's professional wrestling. It's whatever you want to call it. There's sport and there's entertainment. The great thing about
if you're entertained by it, then great. The NFL is sports entertainment. The NBA is sports entertainment. If you're entertained by it, then you're entertained by a sport. So that's great. Buy a ticket. That's great.
Exactly.
But our job is to be the best. And that's what we do, whether you're entertained by it or not. Whether you tap somebody out in 2 seconds and they didn't like it, the fans didn't like it, we don't care because we won.
Right. And, you know, that the faster you're in and out the ring, the better the price per hour is for you for the evening. And that makes sense. Time is money. Time is money. That's all that needs to be said on that one. Now,
exactly right.
That's why I like to watch certain individuals work more than I do others. I'm entertained by watching, Jax Insane. I'm entertained by watching Ryan Manis, Lazarus Black. I'm entertained watching the Soul Patrol and how they interact with the kids. The Moonshine Express, how they go out there dancing with the crowd and stuff. It's entertaining, and you see the crowds and the kids and all that get into it. But when you put guys like Luka Daniels, Chase Emery, Antonio Morgan, Randy Wayne, and I'm throwing out, some of the names that I enjoy personally sitting there watching. Reno Royce.
Shit gets real, doesn't it? Shit gets real then, doesn't it?
Yes, and it's entertaining on a different variable. That's why I say it's all about perception. A lot of people can't do it. They take one show, they'll look at Monday Night Raw and say Monday Night Raw sucked. Well, it's 3 goddamn hours. There's no way that the whole show didn't have anything that hit for you. There's no way. Because there's always something. Whether it's a woman you wanted to see and she looked good, there you go, you hit it. Or it was a storyline you wanted to see go a certain way and it went. Or a match that was a banger. There was something there for you. And that's the same with every show. What's different with me is I segment everything in my brain. Every single match is every single match. That one match is the show. Not the whole show is all the matches. Because everybody can sit there and be like, oh, well, the opening was cool, but the rest of it was weak, and then the main event was okay. Well, they started hot and they ended hot. That's normal. But you got to take everything for what it is, as opposed to, oh, everything needs to be a 5-star. Screw the 5-star, screw the ratings with Meltzer. I have no use for dirt sheet bullshit. I don't deal with it. If I see a rumor, I don't go out there and immediately blurt the rumor. I wait until I see something officially from a wrestler before I go on with it.
On my 8th birthday, my father took me to the Greenville Memorial Auditorium, and we watched Terry Funk and Ric Flair wrestle in the main event. Okay. And for him, that was the show. And for me, that was great. I also liked Sting versus Muda, which was before that. And then, but my dad was ready to go. But here's the thing. They had a special cage match after Ric Flair and Terry Funk, which was the Road Warriors versus the Samoan SWAT team with Paul Lee. And my dad, after Ric Flair beat Terry Funk, my dad said, "Are you ready to go?" And I'm 8 years old, they're putting up a cage and the Road Warriors are about to come out. No, I'm not ready to go. No, we're not going anywhere. And we did, and we stayed. But just like you were saying, that match, Flair and Funk, was the show for him. But for me, I wanted to see the Road Warriors, right?
Right.
So that's what you were saying.
Yeah. Now, hell, and for me on that would have been probably Sting and Muta would have been my go-to for that event, because I guarantee you that was a hit.
That was the only moonsault you could see back then.
Really?
Nobody did a moonsault. No, besides Muta at that time, you didn't see a moonsault.
And KC chimed in. She said, now you're talking about the Greenville Memorial, and you know it's just getting started when that cage comes down.
There it is, KC. I like you more and more, KC. We're going to talk Saturday. I'm going to turn you to my side. You're going to find out.
Hey, look, I've already had to go buy more coffee for this event. Okay, I already had to go buy more coffee for Saturday. Like that's no bullshit. I just left the store. Okay, I got home at 2. You're still sitting in your car. I got home at like 2. So I'm with you. I had to go out and get the business done too. But
I haven't been home. I haven't been home since Friday. We had a show Friday night. Chase Emery wrestled. He wrestled Austin Bebop. Shut him down.
Really?
It was bad. He shut him down. I helped, and with my advice, and turned out great.
You with your advice.
Yeah, that was at APW Chester, Action Pack Wrestling in Chester, South Carolina. That's another good promotion out there.
Yeah, this area is loaded with a lot of good promotions. We've got some of the best talent in the nation down here that work and frequent the area.
We really do.
Yep. The only thing, and this has been my only thing, and this conversation has come up between, Jimmy Ward, Bill Hazelwood, Cole, Shane Dorr from Palmetto. All of us have all said pretty much the same thing. It'd be great to see one big ass show where we had like something big sold out. The only narrative that nobody's had the answer for yet has been, how can you get 2,500 to 3,000 people in Spartanburg Auditorium with independent talent when they've all been flooding the market all over the place? You can't throw a rock from Spartanburg to another county and hit a market that Chase Emery hasn't worked in the last month. You can't do it.
Yeah, but look what he's done there. So give them something with Chase Emery that they haven't seen before. That's up to the promoters. And with all the promoters that you've mentioned, we could make that happen. We could give people something they haven't seen before. That's something to think about.
Right. Hey, look, if you don't have my number, you'll have it when we're done talking. And hell, we can work on this all day. I ain't afraid of shit. So, because it won't be the first show I got to work on this year, and it's not going to be the last. We're working on some charity thing. I'm waiting to hear back from a referee, Mr. Kylan Disney. He's got some charity thing in the works. He's got some charity show coming up in the works that we ain't even got it good and announced yet, because nothing's set in stone good. The only thing I know is he told me who was involved in the booking committee, and I was like, why the hell am I involved in this conversation? That was my statement to him. Why am I in this conversation? Because he named a bunch of names, and we're not going to go into detail about who it is, but I'm like, why me? What do you have what am I doing with these guys? Because I don't fit with the rest of the names he mentioned. But
Kylan Disney's a smart guy. I might not always agree with his refereeing, but he's a smart guy, a good guy.
Yeah, Kylan is.
What's Cole Maccabee saying? Here comes Maccabee again.
Regardless of who wins between Colby and Chase, May the 6th, there's the blue collar badass JD Drake coming for that Pro Wrestling Union heavyweight title at Mayhem.
And because I know Chase Emery is going to beat Colby, guess what Chase has been just started training to do?
What's
It's
that?
a brand new thing. It's called an ear lock for people with big ears. And J.D. Drake has Dumbo ears. If you ever look, have you seen J.D. Drake? The first thing you see is those ears coming around the corner.
The
And
first
Chase
night I
Emery's
ever
going to
seen.
snatch one of them right off. He's going to snatch one of them right off.
The first night I was ever at an indie show was invited by Kylan. The first night I met Kylan, Bill Hazelwood, and the lot of them was JD Drake was there. So
Yeah.
I know what he brings to the table.
I've known JD Drake for 20 years, and I'm going to use that knowledge to tell Chase Emery what it is he needs to do. Oh, yeah.
I just want to hear him on the microphone. I just want to hear him on the mic.
JD Drake?
Yeah. Because we got into an exchange.
Get on the mic.
Me
You'll know
well, Randy Wayne said something about MJF and the promo that was cut. Now, JD Drake chimed in and said something or other, and I was like, look, dude, I said, I agree that you can out wrestle him because that I bought, sold, paid for. That is a fact. JD Drake can out wrestle MJF. I got no problem saying that. On the microphone, I have not heard JD Drake enough to be able to put him in that class.
I've heard him run his mouth. I've seen him get kicked out of a Mexican restaurant or two and run his mouth. I know it. I know everybody in Shelby has heard his loud mouth, but Shelby, North Carolina, is hometown. But yeah, JD Drake, hey, he's bad too. He's as bad as they come. But he'll get something from Chase Emery too, and he'll take the pin from Chase Emery too. If he's got the balls to come to Union and wrestle Chase Emery, because Chase Emery's going to beat Luke Daniels. Chase Emery's going to beat Colby Corino, and he'll beat James Drake if that's what we have to do. JD Drake, yes.
Right. I can't wait to see that one either. Like I said, I'm burning through vacation on wrestling shows so far this year. But
lucky
that's
you.
the life we chose. Well, I earned weeks. I don't, a lot of people talk about days off and shit. No. Weeks off. I scheduled my shit out. I don't wait. A lot of these people wait and just call out the last minute. My shit's booked well in advance. My time is too valuable. Every Sunday, this thing happens.
That's because you're a professional. I like that.
I try to be as professional as I can. I try to be. Now,
I do too.
Now, the difference in my level of professionalism and other people's level of professionalism is as follows. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I give everybody a chance. And I try my best to work with everybody. If I'm ever screwed over, lesson learned, and you just won't know me. That's it. And the second thing is, if I'm trying to work with you and I'm trying to do what you want exactly to the letter, don't be a dick and try to big league somebody. Just give me the damn information and let me get my ass on to the next person I got to talk to. Because that's what's happened in the past. And you know what it is? It's because I'm the new kid or whatever.
No, okay, you're big league. You got to know you're big league. You need to sign up for some. You need to sign up for the Saint. Listen, sign up for some courses. I can help you. And you will be big league. There will be no getting big leagued. Talk to the G. When we get done with this, talk to the G. I can help you.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. Oh,
my connections are endless. Ron, ask Cole Maccabee. He might want to run his mouth on here, but ask him about my connections. He'll tell you.
I've already I've already been told by no less than 3 different individuals what I was getting into by having you on the show. I already knew, and they said between Bill Hazelwood and Derek Vanderford, you're going to have your hands full for keeping your hours limit on podcasts.
You want them empty? Do you want them empty for a show? Do you want your hands empty? No, you don't. You want somebody like me. You want somebody like Bill Hazelwood, right?
Right.
You want somebody. You want somebody up there like who'd we talk about? Landon Hale that's gonna say, "Oh, I'm just so thankful for. I love this and love that, love this and love that." No, you want somebody real. I'm being real with you. This is a shoot. Being real with you, right?
Right.
This is sports entertainment because you're entertained.
This is true. Life's a work, like Hazelwood says. Now here's what's getting funny. We got ticket deals already going on for this JD Drake thing. KC hollers at Cole saying she needs tickets. And
there you go, Cole. You're welcome.
Now, so KC's getting her tickets. She's getting 3. So now we got 3 more people already. We haven't gotten through the March show yet. 2 March defenses for Chase Emery. And we're already getting people interested in a 3rd one that we don't even know if it's going to come to fruition yet. That's how the business goes, man. Look at this.
Hey,
I can't wait. I can't wait for Saturday.
We're progressive here today. We're making progress.
That's right. I can't wait for Saturday, man. I'm telling you. I'm just hopeful. I'm hopeful Saturday's weather patterns hold off good. I'm hoping everything looks, I'm just hoping for a good day of wrestling. And it's a kid-free day for a change for me. So I'm all about it.
There you go. Ron, I'm going to tell you, listen, I've been with you for an hour. I love you good, but I'm about to have to exit stage left. But I'll tell you this. The one thing you need to know about Chase Emery and myself is, and Antonio Morgan and anybody in the future who signs on with myself.
Okay.
If you're not picking up what we're putting down, you'll be picking your ass up off the ground.
There we go. Now, what's funny is this. Oh, shit, he's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Derek Vanderford. Shit. He's got me stumped. I'm not even going to play with that one. He straight up exited stage left. Well, G, thank you very much for popping in. I greatly appreciate it, sir. Jimmy Ward just asked, I just got here. What the hell did I miss? And your son answered you a lot. You missed a lot, brother. And that's great news to hear that the weather's looking good for Saturday. I can't wait for it to happen. The match that is coming between Chase Emery and Luka Daniels is the type of shit that Vince McMahon would put on a pay-per-view. It might not main event the pay-per-view this year, but it could in 3 to 5. And that's no lie. Those are 2 of the most talented young wrestlers here in the region. And like I said earlier, there's a lot of them. There's a hell of a lot of guys I love to watch for whatever reason. And that goes into even when it comes to the big leagues, which is what we're getting ready to start breaking down right now. You go through Monday Night Raw. The biggest highlight out of Monday Night Raw is that Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens earned their way to a Raw Tag Team Championship match. We aren't even done with the RK Bro shit yet, are we? What are we doing? It is just on a whole nother level that you've already got this match, but now you've got them both too. Is it going to be a triple threat? What are we doing here? Storyline continuity is very important to somebody more like me than it is, I guess, to other people. That's kind of half of my issue with AEW is that everything's so convoluted. It's all crisscrossing and it's all over the place. There's no, your mixed drinks aren't neat. It's kind of just a jungle juice type of situation there. Everything's just poured all into one big vat, and here, everybody, let's get hammered. Either way, I'm excited to see how that goes. The fact that we're getting Tommaso Ciampa on Monday Night Raw really, really does a lot of great things for me. That's my favorite wrestler currently on the planet. Current full-time active wrestler is Tommaso Ciampa and has been for the last number of years. Promo work is always on point. He's nothing but intense. You've got great ring work, and he can outwork you on most levels of the game. He can make you tap out. He can beat you senseless. He can knock you out. That's the type of shit I like to see. The whole Logan Paul thing, I get it, but wouldn't the people that were already going to be watching it anyway, even if they were Logan Paul fans? He's not bringing that much of a different dynamic because most of the people that watch wrestling were already watching Logan Paul. Is it a little bit different? Yeah, I get maybe you're going to get some of the YouTube crowd buying in on this, so that's a whole nother ballgame. Let's see here. Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash. Is this over yet? Like, are we done now? I hope we are. Great match. I'm happy Rhea, got it over Nikki, but we got to be done with this. Great match right here. Damian Priest and Shelton Benjamin. I am big on both of those dudes. I think both of them are great workers in the ring. I think both of them can do even well on the mic. So that's probably why they're, in the mid card. Shelton Benjamin is just a freak of nature. He's been an awesome wrestler for 20 years or better because he was a high school wrestler and a collegiate wrestler. He was another All-American. He was with Brock, back in the day. Just a really good, talented individual. But now we're going to get Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. This is where I'm not sure how it's going to pan out. Are you going to have Damian Priest go over Finn Balor? Is that burying Balor? Or is it elevating Priest? Or is it doing both? Now, are you going to have Finn Balor go over Damian Priest? And would that hurt Priest? I don't think it would hurt Priest too much. Plus, it then opens him up to start moving up the card a little bit more. Being a mid-card champion is great, especially now with the huge announcement that the title match at WrestleMania is going to be a unification match. It is absolutely insane to me the direction that they're going with this company, but I'm glad to see it because it's change. Change and evolution are always, heading for the better for the most part. So one can only hope that it's going to be better in the end. Dana Brooke defeated Reggie. Why? I don't get it. What is the point of this whole storyline between them two? It's just weird to me. The payoff has to be worth it. It's kind of like I was mentioning with that show Chucky on USA. There's certain parts of the story that, okay, they're cool, but there better be a payoff for this. What's the payoff? Where's the money shots? These are what you need. Just having a great bangers, okay, that's fine. Those two together are not going to have a great match. It's just not going to be a great match. Where's the payoff? The story has to pay off or the action has to pay off, but you can't have dead segments. It doesn't work for me. Bianca Belair defeating Doudrop was nothing short of phenomenal. The way she hit her finisher, the KOD, was just sick. And like I say, I still can't believe that they had Rollins and Owens going over RK Bro. But it's just out of my ability to grasp and understand as to the direction that they're going with this. Either way, great show for them. NXT, of course, you're not going to get away with anything when Robert Roode helps Dolph Ziggler defeat Ciampa, but it wasn't a bad match. It was a good match. Yet again, look who's there. Are they crossing talent levels again to try to help NXT out? Or was NXT just doing the same thing it's already been doing Did it increase at all? Is the juice worth the squeeze? I guess is my point here. Are you getting the revenue out of spending the extra money for the show? Because that's what it boils down to. We see that all the way down here on the indie levels. If you're selling out a 300 seat venue, what the hell do you need to do to bring in somebody like Cody Rhodes to help your ticket sales when you've already sold the building out? What is he going to bring to your show besides deficit on your bottom line? Those are the type of things that kind of plague me. I see wrestling as both a very entertaining thing to watch as well as a very entertaining business. I look at it from the business side just as much because I enjoy that part of it. Now you had Grayson Waller defeating LA Knight. I didn't agree with the way that ended, but it keeps the story going. We're going to get another good payoff. I think there's going to be a good cage match or maybe that fight pit thing that they do at NXT. That's going to be badass. Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray defeating Amari Miller and Lash Legend. Ray Charles could have seen that coming. I don't care if Io and Kaylee had never teamed before and they were going up against a team who had been established for a year. Those two are going to beat that ass, and that's all there's going to be to it. Now, Duke Hudson defeating Dante Chen. I didn't really get into this match. It had its moments, but it was one of those things where I didn't get any of the big hits from it. Pete Dunne challenging Carmelo Hayes. That was a good match. That was a good segment leading into the match of Cameron Grimes versus Trick Williams, which was a fun match. I'm a big fan of Cameron Grimes as well. Trick, young in his craft, young in his career, but he's got good mic work. His ring work needs some help, but he's very good for his career age. Now, the biggest hit off of this whole night has actually been Nikita Lyons defeating Kayla Inlay. She is a bombshell. This woman is stunning, knocked it out of the park, and she has been like a meme all week because since Tuesday because of how she ended the match. That alone was worth the price of admission to me. I would pay to see that just for that match. No joke. She's going to have a great career, as green as she is, because she's very new, and so is Kayla Inlay. They're very new to NXT. Whether or not they're new to the industry is a whole nother ballgame. When you go to WWE, you got to know that the hits you played in the indies or in other companies aren't going to be the same hits you play when you go there. It's A plus B does not equal WWE. It doesn't happen. But either way, she was a badass. It was a good match for what it was. I was impressed, and I'm like, I'm in. So now I want to see more Nikita Lyons along with most of the internet because she's been all over it. Solo Sikoa, even the odds in the Creed Brothers brawl with Imperium. Now, are they going to go Sikoa versus Walter? Gunter? Because they're going to be dealing Sikoa his first loss. There's not much logic behind Gunter losing to Sikoa. Unless they're building Sikoa up to go to the main event of NXT, I have a very hard time seeing him beating Gunter. Because I see Gunter versus Braun Breaker as being a marquee money match. I'm talking that's the type of shit that sells out a takeover right there. Moving forward, we had Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter defeated Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. Ivy Nile, green, but very good. Tatum needs some work. Casey Catanzaro is still doing her acrobatic shit. Is great. I love watching her work. I've been a fan of hers since I've seen her work the first time. Same with Caden Carter. So you had three people in there I knew, one person I wasn't real familiar with. But either way, it turned out to be a pretty cool matchup, and it just seemed to be a just a fun kind of matchup there. Dolph Ziggler defeating Tommaso. Still, you got Bobby Roode jumping in there trying to help out. Give me a break, dude. If you need help from Dolph Ziggler rated up here and Tommaso Ciampa rated down here, but you need outside interference to do it, I get it. I get the point of it's not how many it takes, it's how many we beat them with just to do it. Yeah, all well and good. What are you saying to Dolph's caliber on the main show if he needs help on a lower level show? You're damaging him in my estimation. Now, a dirty win for Dolph alone, totally different ball game. That's the crafty veteran. But when you're using somebody else to help him with an extra, sneak attack or whatever, you kind of watered it down a little too much for me. Tag team battle royal. We're moving on now. We're talking about AEW here. And let's not get confused here, kids. I watched AEW on DVR. I did not watch this live time, prime time. It didn't happen. I think I caught up to it. I think I came out to the TV around 9:30. So I just kind of watched it from there, skipped the commercials. Look, there was a whole lot of good things going on between the Battle Royal. You've got Red Dragon. It's AEW. Everything's so convoluted. You got the Elite and the old school Bullet Club, and you've got Red Dragon. All these variables just mixed into a melting pot of shit. It's weird. MJF cuts the promo of the year on CM Punk. There's no denying it. It was a great promo. I'm not going to say it wasn't. And what it did to people like me who aren't really invested in MJF, what it did for and to people like me was it took us to, is this real or is it not real? Like it kind of opened and closed doors that you weren't sure were there. It lifted and dropped some barriers as well. Lots and lots of really cool details there. Just a fun segment. Let's see. Kings of the Black Throne. And we get Buddy Matthews. So, okay. We now have a new member in the House of Black. Is that where this is going? Who knows? The Mad King, Eddie Kingston, came out to confront the influencer Jericho. Okay, look. Do we really need security? Was that 100% needed? It's a little over theatrical, maybe. Realistically, maybe if you had a brawl and then have somebody rush down to the ring, hey, there would have been your chance to get all your buddies that don't get TV time on TV. That would have made sense to me, as opposed to just having hired security standing in the ring. I could have dealt without it. Either way, good promo clash between the two of them. I enjoyed the work. I want to see Kingston and Jericho, but yet again, I'm hoping this feud is not a one and done. It'll be a waste. What I believe needs to occur realistically, and this is me, Jericho goes over. Jericho then ends up being the one to challenge Adam Page. Jericho takes the title. Kingston beats Jericho. So that solves two things, or it solves many a problem in my book. Number one, it's going to give AEW the Mick Foley title win. That feel good underdog, never happened, never in a million years we see it. I really think that'd be great for that company. It'll do wonderful things for them. It would really make them not more appealing, but it would give even the common viewer, the regular Joe Schmo viewer, it would give them a sense of, okay, so they're not just playing into these different facets and fan favorites. They're trying to work an actual story out of it. Well, we got an announcement here from Mr. Chris Blees. How you doing, sir? Hey, Ron, just wanted to let you know that LWA Championship Wrestling is coming to Relentless Church April the 2nd. Bell time 8 p.m. Doors open at 7. Tickets are 10 for adults and 5 for kids. The address is 635 Haywood Road in Greensville. Okay, LWA Championship Wrestling. Chris, my friend, you're going to have to educate me a bit more. I'm not familiar with this promotion. I don't know them. So either you can send me a private message or you can just tell us more about it here. We'll talk about it on the show. Hell, if you're free and you want to come on and tell me about it, I've got some extra time if you've got some extra time, my friend. But once again, that show is at 635 Haywood Road in Greenville. Rex Rumble's promotion. Okay, I think I've met Rex once in my life. Oh, yeah. He was he handled the ring and the mic and the audio stuff for Octavius at CMW Evolution, that show we worked in Greenville, right? Back last year. I think that's right. I think that's where I met you as well. Rex. Yeah, that was Rex sitting there doing commentary, right? I believe it was. Man, it's been a while and I don't have a memory worth of shit. Yeah, he handled the ring. That's right. I do remember that night. But okay, so that's Rex's promotion, and they're coming to Relentless Church April 2nd. I will have to check my calendar, sir. I'll have to check my calendar, but you let me know if you need anything. Let's see here. We're going to continue on this discussion with AEW unless Mr. Blees has more information to shed my way. Everybody, hey, look, this is what we do. If y'all know independent shows, throw them up and we'll talk about them. We'll advertise as best we can. I don't give a damn. The more promotions running, the more wrestlers making money. The more wrestling making money, the better wrestling thrives and survives. So that's what it's all about for me. I just want to see the shit grow. Sometimes I want to watch things burn. This, I don't want to watch it burn. I want to watch this grow and flourish. I want to see the future. You do that because the Rolls Royce of wrestling will be there live. You're talking about Brino. You're talking about my homeboy. Okay, so Brino's going to be there. Okay. I will keep that in mind, man. I will do what I can. I'll have to check the calendar and the Palm Pilot and everything else to see what's going on. I mean, the Palm Pilot says there ain't nothing going on, but that don't mean the calendar ain't got something else, man. Let's see here. If they ever book Jade Cargill in a match with somebody on the level of a Serena Deeb or not a Tay Conti, because Tay Conti's good. Tay Conti's good, but she's not great. Okay, I love to watch Tay Conti, I really do. But when you guys get Jade Cargill in there, she needs some polish. She really does. She's great for her career age. She's phenomenal. She's good on the mic. She talks good shit. I enjoy watching the woman work. But you put her in there with somebody like a Serena Deeb and you tell them to go, not just here's how this is going to go and the match is produced. You put her in there with somebody who can really work, and I don't know if you're going to want to see her again. You're going to want to see her because you want to know whether it was an embarrassment or not. I hope to God she doesn't get embarrassed, but I think that if you put her in there with somebody who can really work that ring, she's going to have a fucking problem. I mean, There's really no other way for me to say it other than that. So if that doesn't fit your bill, I'm sorry. Neither do I. Let's see, Ron. You always got time for Brino, bro. Man, I take Brino's phone calls whenever the phone rings, man. You know this, Chris. I take phone calls from people even when they don't have shit to say, including Jackson Sane, who yelled at me for 2.5 hours. Man, but so they put her up in there against the Bunny. And don't get me wrong, I like watching Bunny too. She's fun and entertaining. And I like the sadistic bitch gimmick anyway. I've always thought that was fun time. I just don't get the whole. In order to grow, you got to work with somebody better than you. I didn't get good at my job by working with shit people. I got better at my job by working with great people. The same goes in wrestling. Eventually, there comes a time when you run out of people to work with because you have you've surpassed them and superseded them. Right now, if I were to take a look at independent wrestling, okay, everybody in this area needs to be wanting to work with certain wrestlers. They want to work with the guys who have been around forever and have got great names and have got great connections and great contacts, not to get a booking. You're going to get a booking just because there's companies out here every freaking where, and you're always going to get picked up. That's not the hard part. The hard part is getting better so that you can be booked better and get paid more. So when you're dealing with guys like Chase Emery, I'm just going to use Chase as my example here because his manager was on earlier. I've known Chase and I like Chase too. So when you're dealing with the talent of that caliber in Chase, everybody else has to go up to meet that. And if you don't, he's going to embarrass your ass. So I want you to imagine putting somebody up here. Jade Cargill has to work up to that. You put people down here, what are they going to do? How are they going to improve? Look at Sami Zayn. I'm not a fan of Sami Zayn. Everybody knows I'm not a fan of Sami Zayn. He can work. Yeah, he's fine on the mic too. He's not my cup of tea. It's not my style. But realistically, his best matches have been against guys like Kevin Owens, who's one of my favorites to watch on TV. It's who you're working with. It's not just how good you are. It's how good your dance partner is. Some people, they could go out there and work a broomstick and get them over better than some of these wrestlers could go get over going up against them. It's insane to me. Ric Flair, every Ric Flair match looks about the same. But guess what? He's always been at the top of the card. He's always worked with the top of the card. The top of the card has always risen to work with him. As Macho Man said, the cream rises to the top. That's not bullshit. That's real. It's real. And that's the great thing about this. As much as sports entertainment is entertaining, as much as, in the back, we know who the winners are. Yeah, it's written on the fucking cards. But or it's written on the sheet in the back of the locker room. Who gives a shit? That's not a secret. That's been known. The only time that changes is if personnel changes happen mid-show, which does occur, or somebody goes to the back and they're hurt, or somebody gets hurt in a ring, or, you have those rare random occurrences. But for the most part, most of this shit's written out 3, 4, 6 months in advance. Now, occasionally, I'm sure it'd be great to show up to a show and be like, we have no fucking idea what's going to go on. We're going to let everybody figure it out as they go. It'd be nerve-wracking as shit for me, but because that means I got to pay more attention than I already do. And I got to not get lost in the entertainment of what I'm seeing in front of me, because that'll happen. Man, they changed up a match on me last week or a couple weeks ago, and I don't remember, but I had to watch the match because I had to know who the hell won, so I knew who to announce as the winner. And I had to look at the card to remember old boy's name and shit because, I don't know, I don't remember everybody. I don't know everybody. I ain't been here that long. Like I said, I got the cup of coffee. I haven't even got the hot dog or the handshake yet. Jesus. Cut me some slack, people. Man, look, Chris, I got no problems with anybody, brother. I tell everybody. I work with everybody because I like to deal with everybody because I like wrestling. I just do this for fun. But I appreciate you sharing that information with me, my friend, and we'll be sure you get me a poster, okay? You get me a poster, we'll put it up. All good. The match of the night for AEW, in my opinion, was Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson. Now, I loved it. I thought that was the best match you could possibly put on a free show. I say free show, a cable TV show. That's as good as it gets. It had everything. You went to task on the joints hurting and the submission holds. The only thing I didn't like, there was one negative drawback on the whole thing, and that was the way that they just said, "Oh, he's out" at the end, instead of doing the hand check. We've gone away from that for some reason, which is kind of freaking weird to me. I either want somebody to, I want more time invested in the selling of, oh shit, he's choked out. And whether that needs to be done by the ref or done by the workers or done by somebody, I really think that one actually falls on the referee. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I believe that falls on the ref. They need to be more in there. Hey, are you okay? And make it freaking audible. Yell that shit. Make it so the front row hears it. Make it so the front row hears it. They're like, oh man, they're really checking on that guy. You see that? They're checking on him. You get people invested by doing that. Now they want to know if he's really okay or if he's really f***ed up. You're taking the guessing game out of it. You're taking the realism out of it by, oh, he's got him in that choke. He's got to be dead. You know, he's dead. You know, we'll just call it good. Ring the bell. I understand it was TV time remaining, but, you know, Ray Charles could have known that Bryan Danielson was going to beat Daniel Garcia. Give me a freaking break. Anybody could have seen that. But either way, it was a great match. The ending, just that little tweak in the ending. The minor details are what kills a movie, a story, a wrestling match, everything. The devil's in the details, ladies and gentlemen. The devil is in the details. I promise you that. Man, Impact was wild as shit this week. I am one of those weird people. I don't watch a lot of the online stuff. I don't have time. I really don't have time for it. I spend more time invested in this show every week than I do most anything else other than watching Raw, which I damn near need to just kind of break into DVR segments than I do anything else. But, you know, you had Speedball Mike Bailey and Ace Austin with Madman Fulton defeating X Division champion Trey Miguel and Jake something. Look, I didn't catch this because it was on the internet before Impact, but realistically, all four of those guys are pretty damn good in the ring and they're pretty entertaining. Don't get boo-boo face right now on me, Impact, because y'all got new shiny Ring of Honor toys to play with. Don't do that because y'all had that ECW vibe and feel going on. It was abstract enough to where you really didn't know what the hell was going to happen next. You're starting to lose that little bit of lure and a little bit of allure, a little bit of luster that you had there by going too deep down a rabbit hole of another company. Let's not do that. And Impact has been the consummate shit show for months. I call it a shit show because it's just out there. The continuity doesn't make sense. With a better TV deal and a little bit more invested in production and travel, I got no problem seeing AEW get beat by Impact. I realistically believe that it could happen. The wrestling matches are as on par, if not better in most cases, in my estimation. Now, having said that, realize I did say, Damian Priest and Shelton Benjamin was a freaking knockout. Dolph Ziggler and Tommaso Ciampa was another knockout. Bryan Danielson, Daniel Garcia was another knockout. you got to have your home run hits, man. You got to have your home run hits. There's just so many things that are out there with this show, man. It's hard. It's hard to fathom it. Oh man, look, what days to Impact? Come on, man. It's Thursday night on Access. Starts at 8 o'clock. Access TV. You got satellite, not cable. I cannot help you with knowing what channel that is. I know it's in like the 800 something here. If I'm sitting in the office watching it, I just kind of scroll on my computer till I find the shit and then watch it that way. You can also watch it on Twitch. Believe it or not, you can watch it from your phone live on Twitch. If you don't have Twitch, get with Chris Burton and he will help you learn what Twitch is. Twitch is like a video game thing, but it's got some weird kink shit to it too. So just, Harry, be cautious, okay? We don't play, don't play with none of the kinky stuff. It's odd, man. It's odd. Oh, you do got that channel. Great, man. Great news to hear. The Digital Media Championship. What? So this is their new mid-card title, I guess, instead of the X Division title? All right, that's fair enough. Matt Cardona defeats Jordan Grace. Look, if Jordan Grace ever gets out of Impact, wherever she goes is going to be paying her a stupid amount of money. That's an extremely talented woman, and she can work anybody. Matt Cardona has rewritten his own legacy, and I love to watch it happen. I love watching the way the kid's grown and changed and, the direction it's gone. The Long Island Ice Z or whatever the shit he did, I don't remember. But going from that, the Z True Island story or whatever, to NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. That's a big freaking deal, dude. So Cardona is as on his game as anybody else in the industry right now, and you love to see it. I have gotten to the point where I could care less and less and less about the inspiration and the influence. They're not doing anything for me. I didn't really care for them when they were iconic in WWE. So the same shtick, the same stick, different show. It didn't hit for me then. It doesn't hit for me now. You got Bhupinder Gujar defeating John Schuyler. All right. John Schuyler's another local indie guy. No, I don't know him. No, I haven't seen him in person. But I've hung out with a lot of people who've worked with that man. And apparently, the dude is legit. And he's an awesome worker. Is Bhupinder really on that level to where he deserves to be beating somebody like him? I mean, I understand he's, is he your shiny new toy too? Come on, Scott. Scott D'Amore is killing me, man. There's just certain things that don't add up. A close match, maybe a classic wrestling match, to a classic wrestling move to end the match, a small package. Not a fucking roll up, but like a small package or, something different. Small package roll up or one of the one where they go up and over the head. Hell, I can't remember what it was. Bret Hart used to do it out of the corner, and it always looked badass. Every now and then, it was great to see him win with that. Now, this made absolutely no sense to me. I don't believe that Lady Frost is up there yet to where she needs to be challenging for anything. Anything. But you've got the AAA champion and the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, Deonna Purrazzo, defeating Lady Frost, the Champ Challenge for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. Where does Lady Frost equate on a ranking system, to where she even deserves a title shot? These are the things, like I say, make it make sense. Keep it simple, stupid. And Now we got Giselle Shaw showing up after the match, stealing some spotlight. Okay, that really did a lot. Dealing with Jay White showing up, talking shit in the back, Gorillas of Destiny, and and their whole fallout. You had Zicky Dice versus Jonah. Yet again, why? Why do you need that? Is it that bad? You need something for him to do? That this is what you give him? Jonah's a great competitor, but Jonah versus Keith Lee would be a good match. What is this? Give me Jonah getting his ass whipped by Morrissey. Jonah getting his ass whipped by Moose. There we go. Moose. That'd be good. This Clash of Styles doesn't fit, folks. It really doesn't. And you know I'm not wrong. You wouldn't be here paying attention to me talk if you thought I was wrong. You'd be like, oh, you're just some other idiot with a damn voice. No, you're paying attention to what I'm saying because you know I'm not lying to you. Honor No More defeats Rich Swann, Willie Mack, and Chris Sabin. This has been like 3 weeks now. They've been doing the same shit for 3 weeks. Over and over and over again. What are we going to have? All right. Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Chris Sabin, Rhino, and Heath. Bring in one of their old ladies and let their old lady fight Maria Kanellis. That'll be, that's just tits on a Ritz right there, ain't it? That would make more sense. Now you're getting into something where you've got more of these people making more sense, doing more things. Then we get Eddie Edwards trying to explain what he did at No Surrender. I watched No Surrender. It was an all right show, but all this shit going on doesn't make any sense. There's just so much convoluted shit. Yet again, you're killing me with too much. I don't need sensory overload every week. I need continuity. It's got to make sense. It's got to work. And the workers got to work. Easy transitions here. GCW is doing better with their storylines. And they're talking about pissing on fans. Oh, in case you missed that. Joey Janela got shit thrown at him. And they got a fight with a fan. And then he gets on the mic the next night talking about he's going to literally piss on people. What good are you doing to any wrestling company? I got nothing for this. Absolutely nothing for this. I didn't care for Joey Janela anyway. I didn't think he was that good in the ring. Now all of a sudden we got to deal with this shit. Now he's going to urinate on people. Dude, grow the fuck up. You're wrestling on a hardcore wrestling show where they do death matches and dumb shit on the hour every hour. Yet you think this is going to be some normal environment where you're not going to get in a tussle with a fan, but you assaulted a fan. If you get sued and GCW gets sued for that, or the venue gets sued, what did you just achieve besides causing them to close their freaking doors? Yeah, they got insurance. But then the insurance goes up to an astronomical rate that they can't afford. Professionalism. I don't think the guy has any professionalism. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have any respect for the business. What do I know? I'm just a fucking fan. Moving on, man. Moving on. I gotta get into SmackDown. I can't even deal with with GCW right now. My head does not have the capacity to put up with that level of nonsense from one dude. One dude ruins the whole shit. I mean, I guess if you had a rotten egg in a dozen and you cooked all of them at one time, it would fuck up the whole meal. Yeah, that's pretty true. And look at what Joey Janela is doing for GCW, because I really don't think he's helping them at all. My opinion, and like I say, I'm just a guy. Rousey and Sonya. Here we go again. At least we're going to get a match out of these two. Sonya is going to get the ever living daylights beaten out of her, and I am all about it because, see, what other people don't know, and I don't know for certain, but I think is going to happen is Naomi's coming out there with Ronda. If Charlotte comes out with Sonya, or Charlotte comes out, Naomi's coming out again, and then you're going to see that clash go down. How the story ends, we'll find out Mania weekend. But as far as it goes, man, if anybody's running a show Mania weekend, it's going to be a busy damn time because a lot of prep work, man. Look, we'll be right here. We'll be right here getting ready to launch that bitch. I might even take off from work on Mania Saturday, and I might do double duty on shows and shit. I don't know. We never know what's going on. I know I got to do some other stuff that weekend, but I may double dip on the wire that weekend, man. Big E and Kofi Kingston defeating the Lethal Lotharios, Los Lotharios, the Lethal Lovers. Look, yet again, another solid match by everybody. I love watching these guys. All of them are entertaining in the ring, and they're all really solid in the ring. Xia Li defeating Natalia. I was surprised by that. I really thought it would be some schmaz finish. The Canadians and their schmaz finishes, it's just like clockwork for them. I was real surprised that that's the way it went down, but I'm all about it. I really believe Xia Li is going to have a great impact on SmackDown. I don't see her holding a title for a long time, if at all, but I see her being a very good contribution to the roster. Now, what would be really cool is when they decide to move up people to the mains, let's get Xia Li and Io Shirai on a tag team together. Ooh, that is a killer recipe for disaster with them two ladies working together because they can both work really well. Sami Zayn attacking Knoxville. Why? What was the point in this? I get it. So we're getting Knoxville challenging for the Intercontinental title at Mania. Here's the question that everybody needs to keep in the back of their heads going forward. And I will say it one time and one time alone. Tell me why Vince wouldn't put the title on Johnny Knoxville. Don't tell me why Sammy should keep it. Well, tell me why Johnny Knoxville shouldn't win it. Tell me why Vince wouldn't do that with Knoxville. Why wouldn't he? What sense would it make for Vince not to put the title on Knoxville at this point? What's it gonna hurt? Is it gonna ruin the title's legacy? No. It's not gonna diminish the title at all. Mainstream media coverage. Could you imagine Johnny Knoxville going to some overseas nation doing a Jackass premiere with the IC strap wrapped around his stomach? Holy balls. That would be insane. That'd be great. I think that'd be hilarious. More to the story. More people seeing it. WWE superstars are recognized around the world. AEW superstars are recognized in the US, Canada, and Japan. Maybe some parts of Europe. But you couldn't take Roman Reigns to, you couldn't take Roman Reigns to a third world country and drop him off without him getting mobbed by people who would know who the hell he is. You couldn't do it with Brock Lesnar. Johnny Knoxville is a mainstream celebrity, whether people want to admit it or not. The guy's a star. He's a superstar. He's very popular. I love the movie with The Rock that he was in. I thought The Ringer was a good flick. The guy's talented. He's a draw. This is money. It is business that we're talking about, folks. It's uncanny to me that people don't, they just lack the ability to quantify this. Give me a freaking break. Sasha Banks and Shotzi Blackheart. Wow. I'm one of those people where if you're going to try to keep the balancing act going for elevating 2 stars at one time, that's the type of match that you do to make it happen. You put a great talented worker in Shotzi and a very seasoned great worker in Sasha. You put them together. You let the magic unfold. Oh, yeah. For everybody who thinks that they've got it tough trying to keep up with mainstream shows, I'm going to advertise this one time for you. Try to keep up with mainstream shows and independent shows, as well as figure out how to make it all fit. You can't do it all in one time. You got to go one way or the other. I do it all at once. To hell with it. Here you go. Yeah, that's it. Just like AEW's a concoction of randomness, and so's Impact, so's the show. Just a variety show. We just got it all here, babe. We got it all. Drew McIntyre defeated Madcap Moss. At least he didn't freaking make him shrink 6 inches again by putting him down on his head with the Alabama Slammer. Brock Lesnar laid waste to Roman Reigns. The security guards from Roman Reigns during the contract signing. Dude, contract signings are always the same, and it's always funny to me how people are like, oh, this is going to be just so civil. What are you, smoking crack? Put the pipe down. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Drugs are bad, kids. Drugs are bad. Don't. I swear to God, if anybody's listening to this show, if they weren't already under the influence, they probably are. So tonight's episode from Rampage. Now, I'm going to give you a slight precursor on this. I was sitting right here in this very chair, in this exact, situation, position, whatever you want to say. And on my other monitor, I was watching SmackDown. And then I watched Rampage, one after the other. Normal Friday night for me, right here. What wasn't normal was the fact that I fell asleep in here. And I fell asleep during Rampage. When your show is 1 hour long, and I can't stick an hour without falling asleep, no, I really wasn't tired because I went to bed early the night before. Your show wasn't hot enough to keep me involved for an hour. An hour. I go to indie shows for 3, whether I'm working them or sitting in a crowd. 3 hours at indie shows. This is on TV, and you couldn't keep me locked in for a freaking hour? What the hell is wrong with that picture? Somebody tell me where I'm wrong at with that. I don't understand the direction they're going with the 3-on-3 match at Revolution. I don't get it. There could have been a triple threat for the TNT title or TBS title or the CNN title or the fucking OWN title, the Oprah Winfrey Network title. It could have been any title. I'm dying. Harry, I know you hear me. Dude, Harry, am I wrong? Am I wrong on that? No, you know what? We're going to fuck them. Derek messaged me. Oh, what's Derek got? I had a blast. Brother, Derek, thank you, man. I love you, dude. Awesome guy. I love messing with Derek. We had a great time. Now, I will tell you, Derek, I was trying to trip you up. I wanted to see. I knew you were fast, and you were fast as shit on your feet. So thank you for playing. It was a great time. Every now and then, man, I gotta try to have a little fun with you guys who have been in here for so long that I can't get away with any other way. I can't do it at your shows. I can't do it at the wrestling show, but I can do it on my show, and I can do it here, and it's fun for me. We're gonna figure out. We're gonna talk about AEW. We're gonna talk about AEW. I'm gonna switch the banner because we're gonna talk about AEW for the remainder of the show. We don't have long left to go. I'm not going to deny that. We probably got. You know what? I'll go ahead and call it now. I have got 37 minutes and 15 seconds that I'm going to continue to go for. Harry Bernard Taylor, my friend, I know you hear me. Check your messenger, open up. Come on in, let's talk AEW because I need somebody to tell me where I'm wrong at. I need somebody to counteract and counterbalance me because it can't be me that I'm the only person that's not hitting on shit for. I can't be the only one out there that's like that. So Harry Bernard Taylor, get yourself situated, accept the invite, come on the show, let's talk about AEW, buddy. because I know somebody out there has got to have it better than I do for a way to explain it as to why I should care. What's it gonna take for me to get an hour show that I can make it through for them? I made it through Dynamite via DVR, yes, but the fact is I made it through the whole show, and I was up, till 11 or whatever at night watching the damn thing. But here we are, 1 hour of Rampage, and this is supposed to be y'all's like wild shit happens on Rampage. All right, I got you. I got you, Harry. But an hour, and you lost me in half. Why? Now look, I'm going to tell y'all flat out. Andrade should be challenging for the AEW heavyweight title. Why is he challenging for the mid-card title? Yes, it's prestigious. Cody Rhodes held it. It was the last title held by the late great John Huber, who we all affectionately know as Brody Lee. I'm in. It was held for a great reign by Miro. Yet again. I want to put this in perspective, ladies and gentlemen, and this is one thing that really messes me up. Miro, Keith Lee. Y'all with me? Adam Cole, Adam Page. For those of you who are listening and not watching the show, what I have is one hand way up high for size and the other hand way down low for size. Why in the blue hell does it feel like this is backwards? Yes, they are good wrestlers, but they're all good wrestlers. They're all on TV. They're supposed to be good wrestlers. You cannot make it make sense to me that the heavyweight title is being held by somebody a third the size of a heavyweight who really is a good worker and really is a good wrestler. By that logic, what would Goldberg do to that company? By that logic, think about Goldberg in WCW. Inject that scenario into this scenario. Does he ever get beaten? Why? Why would he? Roman Reigns is working on, the longest title reign in 30 years. Roman Reigns is working on. Hey, brother, listen here.
Man? I'm in the car, so
you good? You good? Look, so was the G, Derek Vanderford. But listen to this. I want to ask you a question. Roman Reigns right now is working on the longest title reign in 30 years for the WWE. Now, notice I said the WWE because I don't need some freaking mark. Oh, well, you're ignoring NWA and Nick Aldis. Yeah, I know about the NWA, but the rest of the world doesn't. Yeah. But we do. They don't. Right. Not all of them do. But the whole world knows about the WWE.
Yes.
All right. If Roman Reigns is holding that long of a title reign in the WWE, what the hell do you think he would look like in AEW?
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to beat him? Who would be? There's
nobody.
No way.
Nobody.
There's no way.
Yes.
What is wrong with AEW? I can't be alone.
AEW got problems, man. AEW, I told Chris last week, I said, Chris, I said, I'd give it 2 years. Either Tony Khan's going to sell this thing or AEW's numbers are going to drop. AEW Dynamite is going to drop to Rampage numbers. As far as what Rampage is doing like 500,000. AEW Dynamite is doing between 800,000 to like a million. They keep dropping. They're not consistent. I said, I guarantee you in 2 years, unless something changed, Tony Khan gets some people in there that know what they're doing. He continues to run it the way he's running it, and he continues to book that thing. I suspect that thing to be down to 500,000 where Rampage is now. As far as Rampage, I don't even know if that show will be in operation. If it does, Rampage is going to be doing less than what Impact is doing. It's awful, man. The way they run that thing, and the way they schedule their matches, the way it's booked, it's total chaos, man. No continuity nowhere. So I don't expect that thing to go on too much longer. They don't. Man, it's a complete mess. It's a complete mess.
All right, and I want to put this in perspective for everybody. HBT is not a WWE guy. I am a WWE guy. HBT is not a WWE. He is an AEW fan.
Yes.
But we are also independent wrestling fans. So we try to watch the shows where a lot of names we've seen or met or talked to in person are now working.
Yes.
This is it. We always you always try to support your friends. That's what life is. Life is nothing but one big helping hand.
That's right.
Sometimes the helping hand drops you off the cliff, but for the most part, the helping hand pulls you up out the gutter sometimes.
Yes.
So I don't get it.
Man, I mean,
like I said, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting in the same recliner that I sit in every show. This is where I watch most of my wrestling during the week. It's right here on this computer. How in the blue hell in 1 hour can you lose me to the point that I'm going to fall asleep?
Yeah. I've gotten to the point where when I watch AEW shows, I have started watching the commercials and I forget the match is going. You know, they say, we got picture in picture. I've started watching the commercials and I say, Chris, when I've started watching the commercials, there's a problem. When I can't stay focused on the match, you have a problem. I have to rewind it back and look at what's going on with the match because, you know, Chris and I, we give a rating on the matches.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I have to turn this thing to the point where I have to look and start rating the matches later on. I have to replay it. And I hate to do that because, like I say, I lose focus in it. And you talking about falling asleep, man. If I wasn't on the exercise bike, I'll be exercising. I'll be working out, doing curls or something, watching AEW programming so I can stay focused on it. It's totally ridiculous. And I agree with you 100%. El Idolo should be in contention. He should be in contention. He should be in the top 5 ranking all the time for the heavyweight championship. And they got him going for this TNT title. And most likely he won't get that. So, I mean, it's just flat out crazy, man, the way they do things. And they bring people in. They hire these guys from the WWE. They bring people in. They put them in matches that they shouldn't be in early on. Like, let's look at that Mercedes against
Mercedes Martinez.
Mercedes Martinez against Thunder Rosa. The way they did that. Now, I understand that she was brought in as a henchwoman to take out Thunder Rosa for Britt Baker. So, but why in the world would you? Okay, the first match, she knocked her out with a pipe in the back of the head with a pipe. Then the next match, what kind of match was that?
I can't even remember.
No disqualification. It was any rules count anywhere or something like that. Why would you have a match so early like that? And then with the Hangman Page thing with Lance Archer, you went ahead and had a Texas Bull Rope match the next week after Lance Archer challenged Hangman Page, and they got into it and fought all over. Like say matches like that, you wait 2 and 3 months down the road after the feud that escalated to the point where you can get that match to that point. You don't put them on early like they have put them on. So they do stupid things, man. They do dumb things. They don't let nothing culminate. No matches finish. I mean, it's always somebody's getting attacked. I mean, it's not saying WWE doesn't do this, but AEW, WWE has made their point. WWE, they're set. They're set. AEW, they have to do everything right now because they're a new company. They're trying to hang on. And they're losing fans, man. You don't lose. Okay, last Wednesday night, down to the main event, they lost 200,000 fans. 200,000 fans turned off. They started off at 1 million that night, dropped down to 815,000 going into the main event.
Damn.
The week before when CM Punk against MJF. If you look at the tidal wave, I've been looking at their splits. They lost 80,000 people going into that match. CM Punk and MJF lost 50,000 people as the match went on into the last few minutes before they turned it off. People turned it off. People turned off by CM Punk. MJF, they wasn't losing people with MJF when he comes out and do his interviews. They was gaining people. So it's saying people saying CM Punk is coming on, so he was calling people. They was calling people saying CM Punk coming on, so people was coming in to see that segment, his interviews. Now they got him. They switched him up this week, and there's a few people that's been on it, but there were people who turned it off. So by them trying to change his personal, his personal, who he changed his character a little bit, change him around and make him sympathetic and all that. It seemed like some people are getting turned off by it. So they do not know where they want to go. They don't. Tony Khan does not have this thing set, and
no.
it seemed like nobody. And as far as the people in the company that could do it, tell them how to do it, they're not getting involved. They're not getting involved, and they're letting Tony Khan run this thing, and he's pretty much running it into the ground. He's a fan who's coming in, who's trying to run a wrestling company. And not saying that a fan can't do that, because sometimes there's plenty of fans. I'm sure there's fans out there who can come in, man, and hit a home run. But it's not Tony Khan. He's not doing it, man. It's crazy.
Now, I'm gonna throw this one at you, and I want you to tell me what you think.
Okay.
If you're talking about the way AEW is going, and you're talking about all that, and all the ways that the matches are unfolding, do you think that had anything to do with the reason Cody Rhodes left besides money?
I think so. And I told Chris, I said, man, look, I said, Chris, I said, sometimes you can get upset. You can get upset. I've been in management with a few different companies, and I've been just basically an employee, associate, or whatever. And I said, you can look at the way the company is being ran, and you can say, okay, I mean, myself as a person, when something is not being right, it upsets me. When I'm out there working in the public, it upsets me. I'm like, man, this is not the way a company should be run. This is not the way we used to do things. This is not the way, and you see things going chaotic. And you start making a decision. I don't have to stand around for this. I can go and work somewhere else and don't have to put up with this, because it's a bunch of garbage going on here. And I'm doing 2 and 3 different people's jobs. I think what is happening here is Cody Rhodes. He said, my dad was in the wrestling business. My brother was in the wrestling business, been in the wrestling business, still is. I've seen the way, he was around when WCW, Jim Crockett was still around. I seen in WWE, I seen the way the wrestling business should be run. Now I'm over here in a crap show. This is a crap shoot that I'm involved in.
Right.
And man, why in the world should I put up with this? So either pay me more money, or if I'm gonna stay in this, which a lot of people do at any job, I want to get paid more money to put up with this.
Yeah.
Because my power, when think about it, his power was diminished. I mean, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, started rolling their eyes at him, his ideas and all that. Tony Khan took his power away as head booker, and he became the booker. So Cody Rhodes is like, okay, if I'm going to be the face of this thing, they started making him the face of the executive committee, saying, okay, Cody Rhodes, they still put it out there that he was in charge of things, that he was in charge of, is making these matches, being booking, and his wife. So knowing this woman, and I mean, I don't really know her, but I know how a woman like her thinks. She probably said, go and ask for more. We need more money if we're going to be put out like this. So he goes and he asks for more money. He says, if I'm gonna put up with this clown stuff, and he knows everything going wrong as far as the way they're booking matches and all that, and they're losing things, and they're losing fans, because look at the arenas. When it first came back, when they first they started, they was filling up arenas when the pandemic, when they started letting people come in, when the pandemic started getting started waning off, they started letting people come in, and people went out there and they had all the stimulus money. They bought tickets, so they were selling out. Now those arenas are not selling out. They have darkened the arena and they cut off certain parts so you can't see the empty seats and all that.
Yeah, so he's like upgrade tickets.
Yeah,
to fill it in.
Yeah, so Cody Rhodes is like, hey, if I'm gonna put up with this, give me more money.
Right.
Don't offer more money or whatever, probably trying to get him at the same rate or probably try to cut his rate a little bit. And he's like, oh, I'm not gonna go for this. I don't need to be in this. I don't need to be involved in this. And if Cody Rhodes made the money that in the few years he's been in there, he's made $15 million, and that's not including his wife's salary, then they've made enough to start their own business. They've made enough where they can start their own company, or he can go to Ring of Honor and take over that thing, or he can go back to WWE, which I don't think he's going to go back to WWE, which a lot of people, he might do that for a little while. I don't know. But Cody Rhodes is in a position that he do not have to put up with all that mess and get cut and get his pay cut. Now, he might put up with it for the pay rate he was making before. If, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. For the rate he was making before, I would put up with it for another year or so. But you're going to cut his pay, and he have to sit there and look at that garbage that's going on? Because anybody with a sensible mind, man, anybody with common sense, or anybody been watching wrestling for a long time would know that what's going on over there, man, is not going to last. That kind of stuff is not going to last. I mean, he is going downhill, and Chris, who was huge, I mean, he's even a bigger AEW fan than I am. Chris have turned on the thing. Chris was like, man, we was watching AEW. We was watching Dynamite, and we was live.
I was there for a little bit.
Yeah, for a while. We was live. We turned it off, man, because it was so bad. It was so bad. It was hard to follow. And I'm like, man, this is not good at all. I'm like, this is not the type of live that we should be on, because it was so bad.
I jumped on during y'all's show and was watching some of it while y'all were talking.
Yeah.
I left my computer running.
Yeah.
Which, where like if I was able to comment or whatever, I could pop back in. And I went and did some other stuff in the house, and then I came back to the living room with the DVR and went and rewatched the shit.
Yeah.
But it just didn't add up to me, so that's why I just wasn't there. Now, I do got to give one quick shout out real quick. Our buddy Octavius Conway.
What's going on, Octavius?
Motor. Man, CMW Evolution Level Up show will be in Orangeburg, South Carolina on April the 24th. Octavius Conway, thank you for the heads up. Brother, I saw the share on it. Thank you for sharing this video, my friend. I appreciate you. Hell, one of these days might have to get you on here too. I know coming up soon, I got Gunner coming on. Gunner, Jackson Riker, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Yes.
I'm not sure what he's going to have me refer to him as other than sir when he's on this show. But yet again, another Marine, man. So I'm trying to, hey, look, people, you ain't got to like each other's politics. You just got to be respectful of one another. Right. Me and Harry, I'm damn sure we don't agree on a lot of things, but we also don't talk about that. We talk about wrestling.
True. We talk about wrestling, yeah.
But
we talk about what we have in common. Just put it that way.
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure we can talk about certain things, man, and come to an agreement, whether we disagree with each other or not.
Exactly. So, it's called being respectful.
That's right.
You ain't got to be compassionate to be respectful. You have to be respectful to be respectful.
Yes.
But yeah, hey, Octavia said no problem anytime. Thank you for the shout out, man. You're welcome. Like I said, I can't wait to see the video from that show because I heard that show went all great. Bill Hazelwood gave y'all good review from what went down.
Yeah.
And if you didn't catch my interview with Bill Hazelwood, that right there to me was every dime I've ever spent on any of this podcast setup, any of the shit, any of the subscriptions I pay for. It was worth every penny.
Yeah, Bill Hazelwood sat with me and Chris last night, all night long. He was every time he came out of the ring, came over there, he sat with me and Chris, talked with Chris and I all night long. So yeah, we chilled with Bill Hazelwood up at Uprise all night yesterday. Cool as I don't know what, man. So
man, yeah, he's one of a kind.
Yeah, you get no better than
Absolutely.
Bill. Definitely.
Hey, and I don't, he even said that. He was like, don't sell yourself short. I'm like, no, I'm not selling myself short against you. There's no
Right.
comparison between you and me.
Right.
You are Phil Hazelwood.
Yes.
I'm new. I don't try that shit.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a great guy, man. He's a great guy.
No.
Chris and I and him probably gonna be hanging out a little while, go get something to eat and all that. We was talking about that, and we talked about where we lived and all that, and pretty much gave each other, addresses and numbers and all that. So yeah, we're gonna hang out, probably go eat or something, man. But yeah, it was cool. It was
now
cool.
y'all gonna be in Welford Pavilion on the 5th, right?
Plan on it. Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
Now, I've already made it clear. I'm leaving there as soon as I'm done announcing the winner of the main event. Love y'all, but I got to go. I've got to go my ass to Columbia.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm going down there to Palmetto with Shane Dorr.
yeah.
Because if what he's telling me is accurate, I'm going to be in just for a great day of wrestling. That's all that I got to say.
Right.
Because, we already getting some major league matches coming up. Oh, look at who we got in here. Scott Larson is sorry I'm late. I love this show. Scott, thank you for coming through, my friend. We love your show. I'm glad you're doing better. Glad you're on the mend.
Definitely. Praying for you, Scott.
Yep.
Praying for your family, man.
Yep. Can't wait to see you come back. You're coming back this week, as a matter of fact. You got Cole Maccabee on the show, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, another person, and this is one that I haven't heard from yet on the show, Mr. Jack's Insane. Holy shit. What's up, my friend?
All right, Jax, what's up?
Oh, man, here we go. Now, that's another guy I want to have on an interview. I think we talked, and we're going to have him on late in March was the direction we were going with that when we last spoke.
Man, Jax was going off last night at Uprise, man. He went off, and Jax came in. He defended a lady, man. Jax did his thing last night. So, yeah, definitely got to get you. We got to get you on some of these shows, Jax, on Ron's show, or you come straight up wrestling show. Chris and I would love to have you, man. We got to talk to you. So it'd be a great thing. You come on the way you are, man. So come on the way you are. You don't and scare the kids, scare the parents, scare mom and dad, whatever. Just come on and do your thing.
Jack's Insane reminds me of a caliper and I used this analogy the other day. I was talking to my kid because my kid was talking about something to do with history, and then she got on topic of music. I said, let me tell you something. Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people like Marilyn Manson because he's just out there.
Oh, yeah.
But Marilyn Manson did something that was extremely intelligent because he's actually a very smart man.
Oh, yeah.
Whether people want to admit it or not.
That's true.
He pissed off the American public so bad that all these morons went and bought all of his albums, threw them in the fire, and then went out and bought them to burn them again. He's like, cool, thanks for burning my shit, idiots. Right. I just got paid twice.
That's true.
You buy the shirt to burn it. What are you doing? You're not helping a cause. You're not showing unrest. You're just paying him more money.
Yep.
I'm like, could you imagine somebody in wrestling having that kind of fire, that kind of heat these days?
Wow, man. Yeah. I mean, that right there just.
Jax reminds me of that because of the unrest he puts on the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
When he goes out there. You never know what you're going to get with Jax.
That's true.
That's why I used that comparison. It took me 10 minutes to get there. I had to go around my asshole to get to my elbow, but that's the way I go. Either way, man, I'm with you. AEW to me, they're losing me. It's not that I think they're losing the war. There was no war.
No, it's not. It's not. Man, I mean, Tony Khan has nobody to blame for himself. You can bring in as many superstars as you want, but if you don't know how to get them over, you done lost it. You lost the war before you even got in the first battle, before you even shot the first gun. I mean, you come in pretty much. You come in and you bought caps, you bought blanks. That's what it boils down to. it boils down to that. You bought blanks and you selling your fan base nothing. You selling nothing. And I mean, he got CM Punk and
oh shit. Somebody must be calling Harry. While Harry's adjusting that, he'll be back. Tomorrow night, Cole McAbee will be on. So Scott Larson's #truth tomorrow night. Look up Scott Larson. Add him as a friend. Look up #truth on Facebook. I believe it's also on YouTube. It's out there, man. Look, I have a way different outlook on my interviews. That's why I am who I am, and I interview who I interview, how I interview them. Whereas Scott Larson is like a fucking journalist. So his presentation is better than mine on that aspect. I'm just outlandish and out there and, grab random. I like interviewing everybody because, hell, I get along with most of these people. But getting back to what we were talking about, Harry, can you hear me, brother? There we go.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You must have had a phone call.
Oh, that was Chris Burton, man. That was Chris. So, yeah.
What do you have to say?
Yeah, he's getting off work right now. We're going on in probably about 30 minutes or so, like that, 45 minutes. I don't know. He's calling me, but yeah.
Perfect.
I'll call him back. Yeah.
Well, I've got about 10 minutes left in the can before I'm out of here for the day. I'm going to start cutting these. I got to cut these shows down some, man. I run out of space. I run out of space on that website, buddy.
Yeah.
It costs too much money.
Yeah.
I ain't lying to you. But you know what? It is what it is. It's a labor of love, folks, for anybody out there who's like, oh, y'all doing this because you're getting paid. Man, you got to check yet? I ain't got shit.
I haven't got
I'm out here paying to do this.
Yeah, Straight Up Wrestling Show. We haven't got nothing. We haven't collected no money. We haven't even started selling our shirts. We probably start doing that within a week or two. But yeah, we haven't. I mean, well, I will say, Chris, at one of the shows, he did get paid. I didn't participate in that because I was doing what I do, and that's boxing. So I just came back from a boxing event just a few minutes ago. So that's where I was at, and I caught Run. I caught Run on it at the end of the boxing. And well, I was watching you and watching boxing. Put it that way, Run. I was watching your show when you was on there talking to Derek Vanderford, and I was watching boxing. But that's another thing that I might be doing, man, with a friend of mine. Is we might be starting a boxing podcast. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not because I got so many things going on, man, and got a boss out there who wants me to be his trainer in his corner. So I can't do all of it. I can't do this wrestling, do boxing, and take care of autistic children. That's what I do in my real job. Can't do it all, man.
And I understand that. And I mean, you know how it is. You see me with my little ones almost everywhere we go.
Oh yes.
So you gotta take care of business first. But
yes, right.
That's something I wanted to bring up to you. There's not much boxing in this area.
No, it's not. And
if I was in the position to open up, let's say we wanted to put together a venue, and this venue could host, martial arts, MMA, what have you, wrestling and boxing, because hell, one arena can do it all.
Yes.
I'd like to see somebody out there with the mindset that could put it together where you had an individual training regimen for boxing, the next door down, an individual training regimen for just MMA, and an individual training regimen for wrestling.
Yeah.
But you have one venue that's connected to all three, and they all three operate out of one venue. That place would be a freaking gold mine.
Heck yeah, man. No ands, ands, or buts about it.
That was my original goal.
Yeah.
If I was going to do this, that was my original, like, how great would that be?
Yeah, this guy, man, who wanted to connect.
Something happened to your cast there, guy.
Putting on the show. Oh, something happened to it?
Yeah, you're lagged out real bad, like you're frozen. I think it's coming back.
Oh, man. Okay. How's it now?
All right. There you are. Yeah, you're back.
Oh, okay.
The video quality's in the trash can.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know what's going on there. But, man, anytime there's an interference or whatever, and if I'm on the phone, it's gonna start lagging. So yes, but we have a guy who's doing a benefit show. He's talking about, I don't know if that's gonna actually go off, but he's talking about doing like 3 boxing matches and doing like 4 or 5 wrestling matches. So I don't know. Now the ring is different in boxing.
Yes,
Boxing,
it's 23 by 23.
Yeah, it's different, and you have more ropes. So excuse me, but you still can do it. It still can be done.
It can.
But you just don't want to knock no boxer out of the ropes. I mean, they're easier to fall out of ropes, because you have 3 ropes and got 5 in boxing. So, you can do 4. But
you could put those bands up, the vertical bands, to help keep them in place. That would help. You could always do it like that. That'd be cool looking.
Yeah, it's always alternatives to do that. But man, boxing there's a lot of people coming out to see boxing. Really? So that definitely will work. Yeah, man. You put on an independent boxing show. I attend all the South Carolina Golden Gloves boxing shows. I'm always invited to that because I was a Golden Gloves champion. I was 2-time South Carolina Golden Gloves champion. I was a regional champion. So I'm always invited to those shows. Yeah. So I'm an honorary member of the Golden Gloves. So I'm always invited to those shows. So I go to a lot of Golden Gloves championship fights. So a lot of people come out to those shows, man, and they come from everywhere. So if you put on boxing combined with wrestling, man, you're gonna sell that place out. Hit
your lights in the car. Get you some light back in there. It's dark.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, definitely.
There we go. Cool. Appreciate you. But dude, that's awesome. That's another thing I've never been to, but I didn't even know there was shit going on down here with boxing. Now,
a few months back, man, I was at in Greenville. We had a professional card about 3 months ago, and then we had to bring in some amateurs because we had some people from Ohio and Pennsylvania didn't get to come out. So we brought in some locals from North Carolina, South Carolina. It turned out pretty good, but we had professional fights on that card. So it really ran well, man. Next card, I'll let you know so we can get you out, man, so you can come out and check it out. But boxing, man, it goes down great. So, it's big time.
That's another one of those things I want to check out. Now, Scott Larson has a comment here, and I'm going to regurgitate what he says. He says AEW right now is WWE Junior to me. I'm not even going to say that because it's more like diet WWE.
Yeah.
Because it's not even the same. No, I can't do it. The production's not even close. The production value is nowhere close, not even remotely close. The storylines on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown predominantly, notice I said the word predominantly, which means for the most part, not all the time, because I will get massacred on this damn app about saying, oh, you said they always make sense. No, I didn't. They predominantly, for the most part, the storylines are pretty well, constructed and carried out.
Yeah, they stay intact pretty much.
AEW is just convoluted. It's a mess to me.
Yeah.
I love to watch it. Oh, he's talking about the roster. Well, yeah, I would kind of agree that because AEW is like a lot smaller caliber people than the WWE, both on popularity and in general on size. Yeah. I feel like guys like Luke Hobbs, Wardlow, those two especially could make money in the WWE. I'm not going to say that they're talented enough to get over as high as, KO, but they are. Guys like Andrade, could have been, should have been.
Yeah.
Same with Miro. Same with Keith Lee. 100% Keith Lee. He was one of my favorites to watch, was Keith Lee. I always thought he was an excellent worker. So I'm genuinely happy for those guys to have that opportunity. But yet again, here we are. Oh, they're getting used better. No, they're not. They're not being used. They're being used the same in my book.
Yeah. And the thing with look at Malachi Black. Okay, they brought him over. Malachi Black should have been one of these guys in the hunt for the world title. Malachi Black, and now they got him over there with Brody King. It's a tag team. And Malachi, he has a lot of this creative control. And so, I mean, it's pretty much went to a state where it's pretty much foolishness. And I don't care that a few years back they promised the title to Adam Page. Adam Page shouldn't be their champion. He's not a good representative as a champion. And I'm like, Chris, this is their champion. This is their champion. I can run off 7, 8 names in WWE right now that'll take care of Miro. I mean, not take care of Miro. That'll take care of Adam Page real quick. So I wouldn't even put him in the top 10 in the WWE. And now if you combine not AEW, but you combine Raw and SmackDown, combine both rosters, this guy will barely make my top 20, man. I'm sorry. He'd be around,
I'd have a hard time seeing him maybe at the top of NXT like Adam Cole was. Yeah. Okay. I can buy that. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what they did. They made he's an NXT caliber wrestler, man. And they made him a champion.
He's an NXT caliber draw at that.
NXT caliber draw. That's right. So I'm like, man, I didn't take him serious no more after that. I'm like, Chris, this kind of stuff, man, it doesn't make no kind of sense. I mean, Adam Page, they promised him the title, man. I don't care if they promised him the title. I don't care. I mean, this is a business, man. This is a business. And I mean, the perception that you putting out there, it counts 100% in this kind of business.
Yep.
And to the way the people gonna like say, the way the people gonna perceive you, you're a walking billboard, and you saying, okay, this is my champion. And I never really paid much attention to Adam Page even before he got the title, because I've seen him wrestle before, and I'm like, okay, this guy's pretty much he's mediocre, he's okay, but has never come off to me that he's a world title, he's a world caliber performer. Never came off to me like that. And so when they gave him the title, I'm like, oh my gosh, man. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not good.
World caliber draws that they have right now is Jericho, Punk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of running low, but I mean, like, Keith Lee's not that big of a draw, but he could be. JD Drake's a phenomenal wrestler, but I don't know if he can get that far over with the fans. I like him. I've met him. I've seen him work in person. He's a good dude and he's a good wrestler. Not everybody gets it. And Scott Larson brings up a hell of a point. We're about to go home here on this one. I'm gonna tell y'all here and now. Cowboy shit is over. It's more his gift than him. Okay.
No, man, no. I mean, I understand what Scott's saying.
I agree. The gimmick is why I think the gimmick and him being promised is why he's the title holder, because it damn sure ain't nothing else. It's not his mic work. He's okay on the mic, but half the roster is just as good, if not better, on the mic than he is.
Yeah.
And then as far as in-ring work, most of those guys can all work in the ring. To me, Bryan Danielson is a much larger draw.
Yeah, I don't think on Danielson. I didn't think Danielson should get it early, but he definitely will be a better representative of that title. And as far as this cowboy crap or whatever you want to, we want to say, we know what he's saying. But as far as that go, how much does that expand? How much does that expand? Does it expand beyond the borders of AEW? That's what I'm trying to say. Does it expand? Now, if you look back at Goldberg, when Goldberg was in WCW, that expanded outside the borders of WCW. That went over to the WWE brand. Stone Cold Steve Austin. When Stone Cold went over there, as he left Stunning Steve Austin, went over there, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that Austin 316, it expanded to WCW and got with their fans. And when you have that much power, like somebody like Roman Reigns, the thing that he's doing head of the table, that is something that can expand out into the outer areas, expand out of the borders of wrestling. That right there can grab the casual fan. And that should be the goal of any wrestling company, is to grab the casual fans with something. Now, as far as this cowboy fit, I'm not going to say the word. As far as that go,
I got you.
Yeah, you can say it. As far as that go, yes, that might can expand out to the casual fans or whatever, but I just don't actually think it's going to expand out because of the word. Like I say, a lot of people don't want to have that saying to their kids and all that. So I mean, out here in public, you're not going to walk into Walmart and see a shirt that says that. You're not going to walk into Target and they're going to have a shirt that says that. You're just not. If a person want to go go ahead.
Back in the day, I remember seeing it was F with a middle finger U or F middle finger CK fear, and on the back of the shirt it said drink beer. That was an old Stone Cold shirt. That was sold in Walmart. I will say that.
Yeah.
And so was the Suck It shirt from DX, and so was the NWO shirts and all that shit. That shit was sold at Walmart, Target, whatever. It was there. That I remember. But wrestling today is not in that same level.
No, it's not.
Wrestling today, it's always montages of people on shirts.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's still John Cena. But, either way, AEW's got some work to do. Everybody's got some work to do. Harry, man, thank you for taking the time. I'm going to let you get off here so you can get home and enjoy the rest of your evening and wind down. Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Bernard Taylor from the Straight Up Wrestling Show. He said they're going to be on about a half hour, 45 minutes from now. So that's 7:30, somewhere in that realm. Catch him and Christopher Burton. You don't want to miss it. Be sure that along with Scott Larson, along with Straight Up Wrestling Show, along with right here on the Wrestling Wire, all of us that like, that share, that subscribe, go to YouTube, that notification bell, hit it all because it is always a fun time when we all get around. Man, I can't wait to do another round table rumble. That's going to be a blast.
Oh yeah, and most definitely can't wait to do it. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm going to drop the layout for that show. I'm going to drop the topic of conversation for it in the next week for us.
All right.
So that way everybody has their time to get their stuff together because it's going to be homework. There's going to be homework involved in this show, buddy. So
I can roll.
Thank you, Harry. You have a good night, sir.
Ron, have a good night, man. All right, bro.
All right, you too. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. It's been fun. Hell, it's been real damn fun. I hope y'all have had enough of me as I have had enough fun for my evening with both Derek Vanderford and then bringing on HBT to help me try to navigate some of this AEW muddy water. Be sure you check this out. I believe later this week, I'm being asked to help out on the tailgate party right here on The Real Wrestling Community. I believe that's Wednesday and Friday. I have to check and make sure because I think the Majestic is heading to AEW Revolution. So because she'll be there, they're going to have my man CM Walsh on his own and all on his lonesome. He said, hey, man, you want to help me with tailgate? I was like, sure, why not? So I'm pulling double and triple duties this week, and hell, I'm all for it. I'm down to ride, man. Love to help out. Love to jump in and help on shows. So once again, be sure you keep your eyes posted on TRWC, The Saint. Be sure you keep it on YouTube. Look me up. It's on all the podcast pages now. I don't know what to tell you for where, but I know it's out there because I uploaded it. I wish I had more to say other than it's the Wrestling Wire. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. Much love and safety to everybody out there. And we'll see you at the wrestling show where, as Bill Hazelwood says, you're 5 feet from the ring and 10 feet from the violence. That's his go-to line. I can't even replicate it. It's all him, man. It's all him. Guys, ladies, thank y'all once again. Everybody for commenting. We will catch you down the road. Thus proclaimed.